defensive struggle that was won in the last seconds by kicker Doug Pfaff. The Wildcats have now scored in 191 straight. But if the celebration is to continue tonight, it could take more points. It's a balmy 90 degrees in the desert, and we look for action tonight to be just as hot. From Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, the Prime Network presents the Pac-10 Game of the Week. Tonight, the Arizona Wildcats host the Washington Huskies. Well, listen to the game notes in this ball game, Dan, and they will emphasize the points you just made.
Well, the Washington offense, as you can see right there, they're averaging almost 100 yards more a game from that standpoint. Defensively, no question, 58 yards a game this year that they've given up. Last year they went from, well, 10th place. They were at the bottom. Now they're at the top or near the top with their rushing game. So they're looking strong in that category.
From worst to first, let's turn the coin over. The Arizona Wildcats, as we mentioned, very stingy.
Well, they don't give up many yards. And offensively, you have to take a look at that because they are a ball control type team. They're almost 100 yards a game under what they were a year ago when they led the conference rushing. Defensively, well, you said it, 80 yards a game throwing, but nobody throws against them. Oklahoma didn't try a pass last week or even hit one.
Well, of course, Washington's going to throw it plenty today. We expect Washington to put it up, I would say, between 30 and 40 times tonight. But both coaches agree that in the end, this game could come down to the kicking game. And that is the subject of our man on the field, Bill McDonald. Bill?
Well, Barry,
I talked to Dick Tomey. He said the object for his team, stay in it till the fourth quarter, and then maybe you can kick and win it.
Well, that's it. They want to stay close. He still feels that he must throw effectively. They got to get something done that way. And, of course, the Huskies, on the other hand, better defense this year. That's one of the strengths of their team. Should be a good one.
The key in this game, first down. What will Arizona be able to do on first down? They need 5 yards, I would say, to be effective. Washington's job, shut them down. We'll be back to kick it off right after. Series 5-1 and
nothing I could
significantly. Arizona won the last meeting between these two in Seattle. The irony here is that Arizona has not won a game here in Arizona Stadium. Washington won the toss and deferred. So John McCallum will kick it off. He will be kicking to Earl Sapp and Mike Bates, two freshmen, the deep men for Arizona. This Pac-10 Game of the Week kickoff is brought to you by Coors Light. The silver bullet has the taste that won't slow you down. Coors Light, it's the right beer now. Now the question is there any slowing down the Washington Huskies? This is a theory of Don James. We'll talk more about it. We have seen his team play on numerous occasions, of course, in the last 3 years. And he almost always, if he wins the toss, defers. His logic, if you get him 3 and out, you get better field position, and you can take it in and score. Kick angle for the sideline. Bates at the 5, 15-20. Got a gap to the 30, 32-yard line. Jamie Fields on the tackle. 25-yard return on the opening kickoff. And there is Ronald Veal. To say that he's a key player in this game, of course, is to make a great understatement. Great athlete out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Just a junior. Now, the big thing is he going to be able to throw the football? Washington wants Arizona in 3rd and long. If they do that, they feel they can win. You see those numbers? They are not impressive. Give it this time to the fullback. Reggie McGill, the ball carrier, coming off the wingback position. Here's a look at how Arizona lines up. Eldridge, Hampton, and McGill will be the running backs. Melvin Smith and Kip Lewis will be the wideouts. They will alternate the wideout position. Glenn Parker, experienced at the right tackle spot. Good offensive line. Paul Toppelmeyer replaces his brother at the center position. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. You'll see this same set virtually all night. It's essentially a double wing set. Veal this time on the pitch. Plenty of room. 40, 45. First down, Arizona. David Eldridge on the pitch. Lang and Burkhalter run him out.
Well, that's the strength of the offense, is the ability to run that option right there with Veal coming down the line. Good blocking to the inside. You see the pitch there to Eldridge. the flanker out that right side. A nice block on the cornerback, Lilo Lang. But what they really did was they buried Dennis Brown at the defensive end with a double team. He has to be a factor tonight.
Dennis Brown will have to be a factor, and we'll talk about how Washington plans to make him a factor. First down. Beal will throw on first down. Over the middle, caught by Eldridge. First down and more. 40, 35. Burkhalter makes what might be a saving tackle. It is Mario Hampton, not Eldridge. Let me make that correction.
Well, Coach Tomey said that they were going to have to throw on first down. You see Beal off the play action fake. You get a delay by number 35, Mario Hampton. He'll come into the right side of your screen there. Linebackers dropping too deep. A nice move there, a missed tackle there, and big yardage.
First down at the 34-yard line. They shift this time and bring McGill up on the wing. Draw play for Hampton at the 30 to the 26-yard line. The Washington defense has been doing a job on the ground. Dennis Brown, the key player, Outland Trophy candidate. The Huskies will move him around. He will not be in the same place on 2 downs in a row. Linebackers very active. Chico Fraley, the big play guy, but James Clifford, just a sophomore, improved greatly in the offseason. Solid secondary also. Lilo Lang, an NFL prospect. Gene Burkhalter, excellent safeties, and 2 very good corners as well. And there is the head man, Don James. This time they give us the Bates, and Bates into the open inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It was Beal. Ronald Beal as a triple option getting knee cooled.
Well, I was going to say, such an excellent job of putting that ball in there and taking it back out. And as I said a moment ago, the execution of the option as he sticks it out, he reads the defensive end, a missed tackle, turns it upfield, gets a block, cuts behind that right there, number 7. Gave him a nice one in Melvin Smith, and then finally gets wrapped up down at the end of that by Eric Briscoe. So the Arizona team definitely on the move here. Great drive, Barry.
Wildcats starting out just exactly the same way they did the last time we saw this Wildcat team. They scored on their first drive in impressive fashion. Out of the wishbone this time. Beal on the keeper, looking to throw, being chased. Throws end zone, throws it away.
Smart play. Nothing there, and an excellent defense by Washington playing the bootleg as they had the contain men, 2 of them out there, not letting Beal get them outflanked with the tight end coming across on the bootleg. Well covered as Dick Tomey on the sideline says, I thought we could get away with that one. He doesn't like to throw more than about 18 times a game tops if he possibly can.
Charles Mincy was the man who was defending on that play. Second down and goal. Give the keeper this time, and the pitch back, ball's loose. Huskies have it at the 10-yard line. Eric Briscoe, the big play.
Oh, was it ever a big play on his part? He played Beal instead of Beal playing him, Barry, on that option. He adjusted to him, reached out to slap the ball away. Now watch Beal coming down line. There's a fake to the running back. Now, there's Briscoe. He was kind of hanging in between there, and of course pounced on the football and took some steam out of this Arizona offensive drive, despite the fact that they're just inside the 10. We'll see if the Huskies of old with good throw coming out. We'll see if they do throw coming out in their first series.
Well, as we said, we expect the Huskies to put it up 30 or 40 times. And they give this time to Lewis. Lewis steps outside, gets it to the 14-yard line.
Gary Conklin taking a look. He has a lot of options at that line of scrimmage, and there's some numbers on him that Terry Donahue, UCLA, said that out of high school that he was the best quarterback in the country, in his opinion, the guy they wanted the most. And he's really starting to come into his own here with this type of offense.
They line Riley up in a slot to the right side. 2 tight ends in the ballgame. First time they've used that set this year. This is Lewis trying to get outside. No deal. He is run down by Chris Singleton, the linebacker. And here is the way the Huskies line up. Greg Lewis, for the most part, will be a single setback. James Compton will be the fullback when they play split backs. More often than not, though, they will use 3 wideouts with McKay, Riley, and usually either Jones or Bailey. Bill Ames is the tight end and very much a factor. Offensive line strong. Vern Brosnick has taken over the role of one of the offensive leaders for this Husky team.
They're going to put it up here, Barry, I think.
Passing down, Huskies looking at a 3rd and 8, 3 wideouts in the ball game. Trips left set. And they give it on a draw play to Lewis. Lewis slips the first man, gets it to the 15. Well short of the first down. Huskies will give it up. Darren Case makes the stop from his inside linebacker position.
Well, rather interesting. The Huskies gave him a look of a trip set, 3 receivers to the left, and then ran the draw, which normally is going to average about 5 or 6 yards. They had more than that to go in order to pick up that first down, and they didn't.
So it'll be Channing Wiles on to kick it away. He had an 11-yarder last week against Purdue. 10-man front shown by Arizona. Now they drop off. Lewis is the deep man standing at the 46-yard line. Straight up, short kick. Takes a Washington bounce and goes out of bounds short of midfield at the 46-yard line. So timeout on the field, 10:39 remaining. Wildcats nothing, Huskies nothing. You're watching the Pac-10 game of the week. Drove the ball very well. Huskies did not put it up in that first sequence, Don.
No, they didn't. And you know what's interesting, too, from the defensive standpoint? I thought they'd put the ball up on that 3rd down. Defensively speaking, they have got to be disciplined, particularly playing that option. They've got to cover all the people. We'll talk about it more. Right now, they have yet to do it.
Wildcats getting it a little bit of a different look, too. They come with a slot right now. It's not the standard double wing. Now they bring McGill in motion. And it is Veal this time on the keep. Veal gets it inside the 45 to 43. I tell you, the triple option is a broadcaster's nightmare. Eugene Burkhalter and James Clifford make the tackle.
Well, as far away as we are in this particular stadium, not only a long way from the field, but very high. It's difficult to see. Defensive people standing across the line have trouble. So when you look down at it, when he sticks that ball in, then makes a decision whether to keep it or not. Washington's going to have to be more disciplined on defense. They're getting off to a little bit of a rocky start.
2nd down. They picked up 4 on 1st down. That is not bad yardage on 1st down. Veal again on the pitch this time to Eldridge. Eldridge gets ahead of steam, gets it inside the 40 to the 36. That'll be enough for a 1st down. Burkhalter on the tackle, and they are running that option to perfection right now.
Well, that's the 3rd or 4th option they've run. Veal runs it better to the right. You see him come down the line. There's the initial fake to Eldridge. Then finally the pitch to the outside. And what they're getting by the Huskies right now is not... They're not getting the force that they'd like. 79, Dennis Brown. Watch the hold on him. Well, gonna put a little hook up there and kind of keep Dennis from pursuing. That's what he does best.
Kind of a takedown. It really wasn't a hold, though. Here's Veal back to pass this time. It is caught underneath by Hampton. Hampton inside the 30 to the 28. And we told you about 1st down yardage, and they are getting it in chunks.
They really are. They're mixing up their plays very, very well. You mentioned that not being a hold. You're absolutely right. What they do is they call it a crab blocking type of a technique where they keep working underneath it. Don James, arms folded. Defense is his baby. He's got more of a hands-on position this year, working with him. They played well up till now, but early in this ball game, they're struggling a little, particularly against the option.
Veal doing a good job throwing on running down, something that Dick Tomey said he was going to have to do in this ball game. Give it to Eldridge this time, and nothing doing as Dennis Brown, playing off the block well that time, stops Eldridge in the backfield.
Well, one of the things I mentioned on that option, Barry, depending on the type of defense it's called, various people are designated to take the fake man. Various people are designated to take the man that he's going to pitch to, and another individual is responsible for the quarterback. They're a little out of sync right now. They have yet to really play it well, and that's why the discipline is there. You can't leave your responsibility.
2 tight ends in the ballgame now on 3rd and 4. Veal this time on the keep, turns it up. He will be close, and I believe he may have it.
He's got it. Well, it's the toughest play in football, I would say. If you can run the option effectively, Eugene Burkhalter making the play, getting some help from a couple other people, but free safety has a responsibility on the option to fill from the backside, which is what he did. But the option is the toughest play in football because you generally account for all the other people, but not necessarily the quarterback, and that's why you have to be disciplined in playing that particular play.
Veal 4 carries, 25 yards early in this ball game. action. Throw on first down again. Looks to the end zone for Smith. Batted away beautifully by Eugene Burkhalter. Perfect coverage by Burkhalter on the intended receiver, Melvin Smith.
Yes, it was. He timed it very, very well. I would say this, Ron Beal delivering the ball a little bit late. You'll see that Burkhalter has a chance to come across, but see that right hand in there, right arm? That's what you want to have in there. The left arm was behind the receiver. You get a longer reach with the right arm by getting across the body. If it had been to the left side, it should be the left arm. But in that instance, perfectly played.
Burkhalter has been in on just about every play, running or passing so far. 2nd and 10. Beal this time on the pitch down. Eldridge got some room. 25-20 at 15 to the 14. First down, Wildcats. Martin Harrison on the tackle.
And Eric Briscoe missed one over there. And well done by Beal. Watch Beal after the fake right there. He takes a little hit. Now the pitch. Now as he comes out, he'll get a little block, but watch the first miss right there by Eric Briscoe. But then good hustle to come across and drop him. But still in all, Arizona is moving that football virtually at will. And part of that is because Washington has a more aggressive defense this year, and this is a hard offense to play aggressively against.
Getting it in chunks, 11 yards on that one. Slot right formation this time. On first down, the ball at the 14. Beal this time on the inside handoff to Sapp. And Sapp gets about 3. Chico Fraley made the tackle.
Well, that's the play they scored on against Stanford, that opening game that we watched. First time they've run it tonight, it was a trap. John Brandom, the right guard, pulling from his right to his left, trying to trap the linebacker in this case. As we take a look at Coach Tomey, he's saying, well, it's worked before. We got to make it work again.
Sapp got more than I thought. They give him 6 on first down. So again, you're charting first down yardage. Arizona is doing it exactly the way they need to. Give it this time to Hampton. Bangs inside. First down and goal for Arizona.
I want to tell you, that was an offensive thrust right there. Not only with the line, but out of that wishbone, 2 backs led Hampton in there. That was like a wedge, if you will.
It is Eldridge, 25, not Hampton. 35.
Watch right here. Watch Eldridge behind the 2 backs, kind of in the front of it. And look at the Washington players. Several of them put on their back as they just roll them up right there and take it down to the 1-yard line.
4 tries from the 1. Arizona moving the ball brilliantly against this tough Washington defense. They go from the wishbone. And Beal sneaks. No signal yet. Touchdown. Well, there's the engineer of that drive. And the Washington Huskies dodged a bullet the first time down, but Arizona, as you pointed out, down moving it at will.
Yes, and they're giving them a lot of different looks in Washington. A little over-aggressive. I said you can't play aggressively. It's a controlled aggressiveness against this type of an attack.
Ronald Beal, 5 carries, 26 yards, and the touchdown, 2 out of 4 passing for 29 yards. Wildcats just can't do it any better. Back to try for point, up and good. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left, first quarter. It's been all Wildcats. They lead it 7-0, and we'll be back right after this.
See right there, watch the surge of the offensive line as they're going for the quarterback sneak. Beal will slide either right or left, and he got as much as he needed. It was just a tad short of the yard. 10 plays, 48 yards. You talked about it. Beal taking it in the last yard. The passing of Arizona at this point, where Dick Tomey said that they had to be effective throwing the football. They had to have catches. They'd have to throw on first down to get Washington off balance. And as you look down there in the field right now, Arizona twice this year used the onside kick in the first game, blocked the kick earlier. Notice Washington up there, ready in case that there's a little trickery.
Yes, worked like a charm against Stanford. Washington obviously studied the films and went to school on it. So Neese to kick it away to Bryant and Jones. This one headed for Bryant. Takes it at the 2, 10, 15, little gap, 22 to the 23. Little arm tackle, saved an awfully big gain. Pat James made a great stop on Bino Bryant.
Boy, did he ever. He was just up into that crack, that kind of shoestring type tackle. The wedge did a good job of sliding over to the hash mark to get in front of it and open it up, and he hit it well with the timing. We'll see the Huskies first time around inside of their 10. They did not have good field position. You see the total yards at this stage. The Huskies just 5 yards. We'll see if they go back to their open type offense.
Single back set this time. 3 wideouts in the ball game. McKay in motion. Conklin will throw for the first time. Waits for traffic to clear. Throws underneath to the tight end Ames. And a gain of about 6. Here's the way the Wildcats line up defensively. Watch Reggie Johnson. Defensive tackle, fastest man on the team. And Smith can run also. The linebackers, Chris Singleton. He has been simply brilliant. 32 tackles this year. He's got 3 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss. He's recovered a fumble. Jeff Hammerschmidt is the experience in the secondary and a settling force. He'll even carry the ball on occasion. He had a fake punt the other day. Lewis this time for the first down. The first down for the Huskies. Greg Lewis came in here a different player this year than he was last year, and we asked the Washington coaches about it. He said, well, got tired of reading in the newspapers that Eugene Harris, who was a promising freshman last year, was going to be the next great Husky tailback. And he came in to prove a point, and so far he's done it. He's had more yardage in his first 2 games this year than he has in his career.
149 a game average, 6 yards a pop.
Trips White this time, and a man in motion, Jones. Straight back Conklin. Pump fake over the middle, caught by Jones at the 36-yard line, but it's not much. About a 2-yard gain.
Better than a loss, though, because he had Anthony Smith, the defensive end, in his face, where the Huskies normally use the 3-step drop. That time, Conklin went back to about a 7-yard set before he threw the football, and good coverage there. He did manage to pick up a couple after the coverage.
I don't know who she is, but I know she's missed something. Once again, one back, straight back. Conklin throws open this time. Ames spins away from a man. First down at the 49-yard line. Kerry Conklin throwing the ball with a lot of pace, looking really like a confident quarterback.
Well, a lot of authority, too. I mean, he's firing that football. We watched him last night work out. Does show a lot of confidence out there. And what Washington likes to do, a 3-step drop to keep the pass rush off of him, they'll use about 40% of the time. That last drop was a regular set. They'll use that about 40% of the time.
Should point out another thing. Kerry Conklin has now thrown 106 passes without an interception. 131, the Washington record. This time they go from the I formation. Short side sweep. Lewis cuts it back, slips outside, gets to the 43. Gain of 8. Hammerschmidt runs him out.
And Rick Schulberg, the left guard, was pulling out in front of it. Washington has not shown a sweep or a pitch toss type end run. Watch the left guard out there. You catch him now, 58, moving in that direction. They get the kick out. And, of course, excellent running by number 20, Greg Lewis, as he turns it up. It's stuck pretty good on that shot. But Washington, first time this year, they've gone to the wide pitch. This is not an easy team to pitch on or go wide with their overall team speed and quickness.
Single back set. Lewis gets the call again. Left side to about the 40. And that will be, I believe I said that was a first down a moment ago. It wasn't, but this one is. Let's pause 10 seconds to let our local systems identify themselves. We're going to have a measurement to make sure this is indeed a first down, as the officials did not give a very generous spot. Incidentally, talking about that short side sweep that the Huskies ran a moment ago, it's easy to say, and I think you and I have criticized on occasion teams running short side sweeps, so we got an interesting explanation about that. It is a first down, not by much. Interesting explanation about it is when teams shift to the strong side of the field, the long side of the field, that is, it is easy to run that short side sweep.
Well, they dictate where the blocking is going to be, and what happens that you can't see is the subtleties of the defense where they shift their line a half a man one way or the other. The quarterback can read that sitting down there, and that's when he switches the play away from the strength.
Single set, slot right. Conklin, 3 three-step drop this time. Throws underneath. Nice move that time by Orlando McKay. Made the catch and almost slipped away. McKay, incidentally, the only member of the Washington Huskies from the state of Arizona. He is from up the road in Mesa.
Yeah, just a sophomore, and I'll tell you what, a fine play by Richard Holt, the corner over there. He showed some strong hands to hang on to that jersey. The old days, they had those tearaways. He'd have been gone. They're no longer legal. Washington, nice drive going here, Barry, and a lot of it has been done on the ground against a good defensive team against the rush.
4-4 passing for Conklin, 29 yards so far. Slot right, two tight ends, one setback. They give it to Lewis, slips inside the 30 to the 28. And another first down for the Huskies. Darren Case and Reggie Gaddis on the tackle.
You know, one thing that I think has happened, actually several, is that with the three-step drop of the passing attack of Washington, it kind of slows those defensive linemen down from Arizona, so they don't really come across quite as hard. As a result, Washington is running pretty much right at them, and with their superior size, they're knocking them back a little bit.
Huskies just murdered Texas A&M with that three-step drop. Conklin again. Throws this time. A little curl. And it is good to Andre Riley. Darrell Lewis defending that time. Gain of 5.
Well, you'll see Conklin a three-step drop here, but look at the numbers in the black. They're coming after him in a blitz here. Conklin reads that the ball is gone before anybody has a chance to get any kind of penetration. Easier blocking for the offensive line, and all he does is look out at those receivers, see which corner or which safety is laying off the furthest, and he makes his choice as to who he's going to throw to.
That's what I started to say. Texas A&M blitzed 40% of the time against the Huskies, and they only had one sack. Huskies burned them with that short drop, the play you just saw. Pitch this time to Lewis coming outside, but the Wildcats converge beautifully. Darrell Lewis led about a 7-man charge that time.
Boy, did he kiss him. Late developing play. Conklin the pitch behind just a little bit. Had to wait for it right there as Lewis did, but still the defense had it played well. 4 right there, number 4. It's Lewis saying hello to Lewis.
There's Darrell Lewis out of West Covina, California. He'll be back for another year. So many underclassmen in this game. We'll talk more about that. Out of the eye this time on 3rd down and 5.
Tight end move.
Bill Ames, yes. The guilty party. And that will put the Huskies in a 3rd and long. It will also move them back to where a field goal from here is 47 yards.
Yeah, he moved into the neutral zone and then tried to get back. See him moving right here. Watch him rock forward, and of course the right tackle right there, Malamulu, he rocked back just a little bit too. Up on the corner in the top side, Darrell Lewis playing the left corner. In this instance,
still 3rd down.
Get the call from the official. Larry Thompson, good call, but Orlando McKay up on the top. Don James and his staff looking. McKay, a lot of room out there, a lot of slack by the corners. Corner taking an inside position on him.
They go from the I formation on 3rd and 10. Wildcats show blitz, and they come with everybody, but it's picked up. Conklin throws incomplete. Intended for McKay. Probably a catchable ball.
It was catchable. They were in the man-for-man coverage because of the blitz. That's why I said I thought there was a good opportunity, that wide side of the field. Hook pattern out there, but he didn't really go down low for it quite so much. I think he might have anticipated the hit. Would have gave him a much closer shot at the field goal.
46-yard field goal attempt from here for John McCallum. He's been perfect, as you see. He was hitting him from this range last night in practice. On its way, got plenty on it. It is good. John McCallum good and plenty good. Emphasizing the point that Bill McDonald made just a few minutes ago. The foot is back in college football. 7-3, the Wildcats lead it. Will be made it by 47-yard effort. He made it by plenty, Don.
Good route and a little bit of a wind in his face. That was an extremely important drive for the Washington Huskies, Barry. The way the offense was moving for Arizona and got 7 points on the board. The Huskies come right back and get at least 3 out of it. It slows down the momentum of the offense, gives the Husky defense a little chance to get a rest, and we'll see if they come out and have made any adjustments and try and play that option a little bit better.
That was McCallum's longest field goal ever as a Washington Husky, 47 yards, and as we said, he made it by plenty. He will be kicking to Sapp and Bates, 2 freshmen who can bring it. Bates at the 5. 15, 20, 25, 30, to the 33. Almost a replay of the first kick return, even to the extent that Jamie Fields made the tackle.
And what we didn't see there to give that a chance to get started, a nice wedge set up, but the Huskies kind of gathering themselves, getting under control as the wedge was approaching them. You have to have somebody be a wedge buster, sacrifice their body, go in and take down those big offensive linemen so somebody can clean up on the tackle. They didn't do it.
So the Wildcats, who have moved the ball tremendously well in the first period, take over again. We'll see what adjustments, if any, the Huskies made defensively. Beal, of course, the quarterback. They give it this time on the keep. And Beal is stopped that time by Travis Richardson. So first down yardage for the first time that I could remember, negative.
Yes, and where we've seen a pretty good distribution of pass against the run, Conklin on the sidelines talking to Gary Pinkel up in the press box who calls the plays. But Washington playing that last option extremely well.
Second down and 10. There was no gain on the play, and they give to Hampton this time with plenty of room. 40, 45 to the 47-yard line on the inside handoff. Lilo Lang and Eugene Burkhalter running out.
Second time they've run that play, sprint draw, companion play. There's Beal dropping back. You see Hampton set for a moment, then come way back as the Huskies over pursue. Gets a little bit of running room right there, and then Burkhalter coming across to make the tackle. Gets a little help between he and Lang.
Another big play for the Wildcats. Ball at the 46. Play action pass. Now Beal, no place to go. Dragged down back at the 38 by Travis Richardson.
He had Melvin Smith down the left side, and once again drawing on what you might interpret as running downs.
And we've come to the end of the first quarter with that play, but we'll hold it here for a moment. And it is the end of the quarter. And a look at the scoreboard shows the Arizona Wildcats 7, the Washington Huskies 3. You're watching the Pac-10 game of the week. The family of companies, 100 years strong. Great Western will always be there. But Arizona drove it down to the 7-yard line. But on first down at the 7, they coughed it up. And the Huskies recovered it, but then the Wildcats came right back. 48-yard drive for a touchdown. Washington came back a little bit later with a 47-yard field goal from McConnell, and that's where we stand. Wildcats 7, Huskies 3. Wildcats on the move again at the 39-yard line, looking at a 2nd and 17. Ronald Beal straight back, shovel pass, Bates steps outside, he can run. 45-50, 45-40, 35 to the 30-yard line.
Well, I want to tell you, he ran to his knees on that, would have got more. Watch Beal on the slip as he tosses it in, but watch the right top side of your screen. Errol Sapp, number 2, will come in and screen 2 people for the Huskies right there to spring him. That's a 164-pound freshman that really made that thing work, giving him a chance to bust it down deep against the Huskies.
And Michael Bates can run 10.38 in the 100 meters, the fastest high school sprinter in America last year. That's not bad. Beal again, pitch back. This time Bates loses the handle, scramble for the ball. Recovered by Bates, but all the way back at the 37-yard line, a loss of 7. But I'll tell you, that hasn't stood in the way of the Wildcats in the past.
No, they've made up for mistakes, although it did cost them points down there the first time as Dick Tomey stands there with hands folded. He's coming down the line. You watch the pitch. Should not have been dropped, quite frankly. The ball was right there. You can't see his eyes at that stage, but I would say that he took his eyes off that football a little bit to see where the force was coming from, because he was getting Chico Fraley headed his direction.
So the ball back at the 37 and another 2nd and 17. Drop play Hampton, and he's tripped up at the 35. Down about 3. John Cook, the nose guard, fingertip tackle.
Yeah, sprint draw again, 3rd time they went to the well with that. Washington played it much better. James Clifford has been getting influence, the inside linebacker, along with Chico Fraley. He's number 53. If you can catch him right there, you see his back of his jersey. He's been moving up in there to try and help against that triple option and the runs to the inside, and getting hung up just a little bit as far as finding the hole of the ball carrier.
Trip set this time on 3rd down.
4th down
15.
line.
and a timeout.
That's why Veal took it. He saw 4 down linemen against him.
And an unusual defensive alignment for the Washington Huskies. Veal wisely calls a timeout to check it out with Dick Tomey. 7-3. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. And let's go to the field and Bill McDonald. Bill?
Well, the defensive coaches were very worried that the Huskies were not reacting to the unbalanced line that Arizona was putting up. They were staying in their normal set and not reacting to it. That was one adjustment. Plus the corners and the DBs, all the DBs have to come up and help on the run support. They're not doing that at all. Back upstairs.
Don James also said, though, they cannot forget about the pass. They have to read pass first and then come up. Or maybe they're reading it a little bit too much and too long. 3rd down. 15. Give it this time on a slant to Sapp, trying to get outside, nothing doing. Lost a couple more. All the way back to the 37-yard line. Travis Richardson really starting to exert himself defensively for the Huskies.
Oh, he's a fine football player on the other side, away from Brown, defensive end. But that time the Huskies, good flow. We're not fooled as the action to the right by Ron Veal. They weren't going to pass or put it up. He's only a 39% completion passer, but he has been throwing much better here this evening.
And they will line up in punt formation, but the Huskies, I'm quite sure, will respect the fake here. Arizona did that last week, and Hammerschmidt went for a big 1st down against Oklahoma. It's John Neese, the punter. He will kick it. Straight up, too far, I believe. No. Beautiful reverse bounce down at the 7-yard line. Excellent punt by John Neese. Buries the Huskies deep in their own territory. 7-3, the Wildcats over Washington, and we'll be back. Things 1st down at the 12.
Travel arranged through Continental, the only airline that you fly first class to most mainland U.S. cities with a full coach fare. Continental, working to be your choice.
Kerry Conklin, 5 of 6. Look at the quarterbacks in the NFL from Washington. Tendency to think of this team as a smash-mouth football team, but Moon, Pellurin, Chandler, and Hugh Millen. And who's that guy? One of the greats, Hall of Famer.
Who is that?
You look every bit as good now as you did then. You know that?
Thank you. I'd recognize. You look good when I was throwing to you last night out here too.
Bad. Old number 11.
Some good catches.
I want to make a pitch to have your jersey retired up there.
Thank you.
Slot left, 2 tights. Give it to Lewis on 1st down. Not much. Darren Case on the stop. I'm trying to point out the sets that Washington is in when they come to the line of scrimmage, because they have a zillion of them.
Well, they can go to various combinations. They do like to use about 50% 2 backs, which will bring in fullback James Compton. We've seen little of it tonight. They've been essentially a 1-back set. I'll tell you one thing about that picture. I'd like to throw the ball as much as they do today in this kind of offense. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Kerry Conklin's having a lot of fun. 2nd and 8 this time, though. Slot left. 3 wideouts, 1 setback. Deep drop. Underneath for the tight end, Ames. Caught at the 23-yard line. That'll be short of the 1st down, I believe. No, it might be enough for a 1st down. I think you're right.
I think he's got it there.
I'm 0 for 2 in guessing, I'll tell you that. I thought the punt was going into the end zone. I thought that was short.
Well, this far from the field, I can understand it. You know, Washington realistically has not had particularly good field position. They've been backed up around that 10-yard line a couple of times. After the first kickoff by Arizona, their first touchdown, they are leading 7-3. They did get it out over the 30.
Conklin doing it all right so far. 6 of 7, as you see, 41 yards. That last completion to Bill Ames, who's been a big reason for the success of the Huskies offense. Pitch this time to Lewis. Lewis gets that angle, takes it up to about the 25-yard line. Just a couple before Donnie Salem made the stop.
Arizona, a very difficult team to run wide against with that overall team speed. One of the guys that can do a number is Chris Singleton, who leads that team in tackles, not only pursuit, but also an excellent pass rusher. Conklin right there trying to get the signal, which he gets one signal from the sideline, but he gets a receiver generally bringing in the play. So they get the formation and the play from 2 different sources.
And it was Mark Jones who brought the play in that time. He lines up in the slot to the left side. Now they bring Lewis in motion, no setbacks. Conklin, short drop, throws, and it is batted away by Singleton. What a player he is. It was Anthony Smith who batted it away, but what a player Singleton is.
He really is a good player. Anthony Smith, incidentally, also a fine passer. That a three-step drop right there. You'll see Conklin going to the right side and Smith getting an arm up. If you can, you'd like to open up a passing lane or take Smith off his feet from an offensive tackle's position.
3rd down and 8 now.
Automatic.
And that means they're looking for a blitz. Short drop again. The ball is caught by McKay, but it'll be short of the 1st down. Richard Holt knocks him out of bounds at the 31-yard line. That'll be about 2 yards short of the 1st.
Washington, which has in the previous 2 games moved the ball very, very well, has struggled here a little bit this evening. It's been the reverse. Arizona's had trouble moving the football. They're moving it extremely well, both on the ground and in the air, and their defense has put the glove on the Huskies at this point.
Channing Wiles on to do the punting. And Darrell Lewis, the deep man, as the Wildcats again show a 10-man front. And they come after this one with everybody. Wiles hits this one pretty good. Wobbly kick that drives Lewis back to the 29. He'll try it. Got by the 1st man, but not the 2nd and 3rd. He stopped at the 32-yard line. So the Wildcats will start it at their own 32. They lead it 7-3, and you're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. In the second half, Michigan started to push UCLA back off the ball. Good win for the Wolverines. Great win for the Southern California Trojans. They were very impressive this afternoon. And Washington State keeps rolling along. I believe that's 10 in a row now for Washington State. Here's a Cinderella story. Stanford trailed 17-0 with 7 minutes remaining in that game. Cal, a 17-point favorite. They don't care. They'll take the win. 20-14 over Wisconsin, and a win for Bruce Snyder. Arizona been mixing it up on 1st down. They've thrown it 4 times. They've run it 11. This time the pitch. And Hampton on the pitch gets it across the 40. Eric Briscoe makes the stop. But again, excellent 1st down yardage, about 8 yards.
Well, I tell you, that makes play calling so much easier when you can get decent yardage on 1st down, 5, 6, 7 yards. That 2nd down call gives you a lot of more options to draw on.
So it is 2nd down, a long 2. They go for the wishbone this time. A little bit of a different look, short yardage situation, and stop short of the 1st down that time.
Dennis Brown.
Eldridge, and Dennis Brown was right there.
That's the first time he's really got penetration. He just watched 79, the center of your screen, step through the inside, shed the blocker, full spin around, bang, dead center. That's greeting a back coming in there.
That's an All-American play.
It really is. You take a 300-pounder that can do a cartwheel right in the hole, keep a low leverage, and deliver a hit like that.
Dennis Brown, incidentally, playing a little bit hurt tonight. He's got the flu that he contracted on Thursday, so they'll pump him full of fluids and try to keep him going. Here's Veal on the keep. Fine play across midfield to the 49. Ball's loose, and I believe the Huskies have it. They do.
Ooh. Oh, what a break, because that was a big hole right there. As Burkhalter, I think, made the play. James Clifford, the tackle.
And Burkhalter, the recovery.
One thing about it, I don't know, Barry, whether I almost thought that ball came out late. You see him, Veal, going up in there. 21 jerks it. No, that ball is clean. The guy that really made the play right there, that was really a significant play for the Huskies.
It was Burkhalter who stripped him.
That's right. When he spun him around, hooked it out of his arm. And then, of course, got a lot of white jerseys in there. This is the best field position for the Huskies. Big turnover. We'll see if they try and go upstairs deep in a hurry.
Second fumble recovery. Veal has coughed it up twice now. Once deep in Washington territory. Now this one to give the Huskies their best field position. Conklin will go up to Compton over the middle, and Compton sheds 1 man, gets it inside the 45 to the 44, gain of 8.
Well, he wanted to go deep. He had 2 wide receivers, one on each side of the field, going downfield on like fly or streak type patterns or foot races. One thing that Conklin has done so well, starting in the spring, they put in this offense, had a lot of problems, worked all summer with his receivers, learned to get to the reads real good. That time it happened to be a delay, came off like the 3rd receiver, and got some yards.
Yeah, Gary Pinkel told us they had a terrible spring, and they said the reason was everybody had to get used to the simplification of the terminology. Here's Lewis from behind. Chris Singleton, another All-American play. Let's go to the field to Bill McDonald. Bill.
Barry and Don, it's still pretty warm down down here on the field, so Dick Tomey has opted to bring in some reinforcements. Expect, especially in the interior line, a lot of substitutions here in the second quarter to keep them fresh and keep that quickness on the Huskies. They think that's very important.
Thanks, Bill. In fact, he is doing that. Ty Parton is playing on the nose now, replacing Ken Higgs defensively.
What a play by Singleton, though. They pulled the left guard, left tackle, Schulberg and Cooney for Washington, and he just chased it down the line and made the play.
Third and short. About a yard and a half. Lewis has the first down inside the 40 to about the 38. Good blocking up front by the Huskies. Zeno Alexander on the tackle.
You know what makes that so effective is you check Lewis's numbers right here. 12 for 38. Arizona doing a better job on him than other clubs have this season. But it's a slant, and he reads the tackle. Cooney, in this case, takes it either inside or out. He dips it outside, gets the necessary yardage. Looks good. First down.
This time 2 tight ends, 2 wide outs to the near side, 1 setback. Conklin play fake. He'll throw. Airs it out deep for the end zone. Open is McKay. Touchdown, Huskies. What a pass play from Conklin to McKay. Threw the ball absolutely perfectly for a 38-yard touchdown.
And you said it absolutely right. And Conklin does a high five with Bert Brostek, the center. And I'll tell you, when you describe that, Barry, watch this. There's the play action fake, initially to Lewis, now the setup, good protection. Now watch him hum it down the field to McKay as Hammerschmidt and Lewis are split. And right over the top, over the head catch. Man, that was a big league grab. And there they are, little headbutt. Oh, is that fun. I'll take a shot to the head from that center when we get 6 points.
Time for Point McCallum. It is good, and the Huskies capitalize quickly after the fumble by Ronald Veal. There's the man of the moment, Kerry Conklin, with a lot of help from his friend Orlando McKay. 10-7 Huskies. We'll be back. Conklin to Orlando McKay with McCallum's conversion. The Huskies in front for the first time, 10-7. We really look for this game to be a tight defensive game, and right now both teams put points on the board and moving the football down.
Yes, they are, and there's an example with the Huskies of that quick scoring offense that they can get it there in a hurry, where up to this point it's really kind of been Arizona that has controlled the football game, offensively speaking and defensively from that standpoint. But all of a sudden the Huskies, with that change of offense this season, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers strike quickly. So Arizona controlling the first quarter, statistically a lot of numbers, and the score. The Huskies coming back with a field goal and that touchdown. Now it's the Wildcats' turn to see if they can counter.
So McCallum will kick it away to Earl Sapp and Michael Bates, 2 guys who could really scoot. Short kick this time. Sapp at 10. 20. To about the 30-yard line. Sapp a 20-yard return, about a 19-yard return. They'll mark it short of the 30. Earl Sapp, just a freshman, highly recruited out of the Los Angeles area. From Carson, California. Jamie Fields once more on the stop. He's been doing yeoman's duties on special teams. 3 tackles on kickoffs. A lot of offense in this game. Huskies 131 yards. Arizona 157 yards. Big number, though. Arizona's turned it over twice, and the Huskies have been error-free. Ronald Veal. Play fake. He'll go up. Over the middle. Caught by Eldridge. It is Hampton. Once again, Hampton 35, Eldridge 25, and I'm about 50%.
Well, a little delay out of the backfield as Eldridge. Little delay on his part where he sets up the block. Veal looking upfield, then coming off. That's the plays that they were successful with in the first quarter. They're going back to that throwing on first down. Veal's numbers?
Much better than they have been. 4 of 6, 64 yards. They'd like to throw it about 15 times. Veal this time, give it to Hampton. First man through, gets across the 35 to about the 36, maybe the 37. Gain of about 3.
It appears at this point, at least as far as Washington is concerned, they're settling down just a little bit as far as playing the running game of Arizona. But that option, you know, you might run it 3 times and go nowhere, and the 4th time you make a big play. Veal had some good yards last trip, and then, of course, fumbled the football.
Wildcats have made the big plays. They have had countless 10 and 12-yard gains. Third down and a short 3. Veal pitches this time to Hampton across the 40, first down.
And was that a quick release on his part, as he had Dennis Brown right in his face, almost picked the ball away. But didn't happen. Got a nice first down out of it. Extremely well executed. There's a guy that's a fine football player as you look at the yardage that he has here this evening.
Hampton, just a sophomore. Michael Bates, who made a big play a few moments ago, 31-yarder, just a freshman.
Deep in running backs.
Mike Stridnick in the ball game now. And he gets the call. McGill, that was McGill getting the call across the 45 to the 46.
Well, what we're looking at the moment, the Huskies leading 10-7, 4:47 to go here in the second quarter.
One of the Huskies down on the play. It is Brett Collins, outside linebacker.
You know, we're seeing a pretty good offensive game now by both teams, Barry, and yet it's the defense as the Huskies giving up just 7.5 points a game thus far this season. Arizona, number 2, with just 10.5 points a game. Those numbers are pretty much right there, but we've got a lot of football left.
Second down and 6. So again, first down yardage, a very big factor for Arizona. Veal this time keeps midfield, first down, 45 to the 43. Chico Fraley on the tackle.
Well, there was an example as he comes down the line, number 10. There's the fake. Now, up at the top, you'll see Lilo Lang, number 6 there, trying to make a decision. They don't get the fill from the inside. It looks like 53 was supposed to make the play. James Clifford on the inside. He did not get there. Lilo Lang pulled off, went for the pitch man, so he didn't get the inside support. Lilo did not play it poorly.
Full house backfield on first down. They're showing a lot more wishbone look tonight than the Wildcats have, at least in comparison to last time we saw them. Now pass out of it. They air it out deep for Smith. Double coverage. Smith has it. Touchdown Wildcats. What a catch by Melvin Smith.
And what a throw by Ronnie Veal.
Executed play, and that's really an in-your-face to the Washington Huskies. They did exactly what the Huskies did.
Well, you'll see Veal drop it back, throwing somewhat cross field. Number 21, Eugene Burkhalter, coming across, throws a hand up, but just misjudges the Melvin Smith.
Smith, great concentration on this.
Oh, was it ever, and what a fine, another over-the-shoulder grab, too. Not easy.
2 big plays for touchdowns here in the second quarter. Pfaff converts, and the Wildcats poke their nose in front once again. It is Arizona 14, the Washington Huskies 10. You're watching the Pac-10 game of the week. Half of that pass combination, Melvin Smith. Great catch, great concentration with Burkhalter flying across and trying to smack the ball away.
I talked to Ron Veal out in practice yesterday afternoon, Barry. I tell you, he is so soft-spoken. It just belies his quickness running that football, and the execution, of course, that fine throw for the touchdown.
Brian Jones, the deep end for the Huskies. Big kick this time for Nice. There'll be no return. Remember, we talked about the fact that the Arizona Wildcats had to move the ball on first down. 4 to 5 yards on first down. It's exactly what they're doing. A little bit more, 7 yards on first down. Washington, they're averaging almost 5 yards on first down. So 7 yards, as you mentioned earlier, makes the offense awfully easy to run.
Well, from a coach's standpoint, calling plays, you have so many other options to draw on, whether it's throwing the football or running various types of plays from that aspect. I mean, that just gives you so much to use.
Huskies go from the I formation on first down. Conklin back to pass again. Throws it deep for McKay. Has it again. Knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line by Jeff Hammerschmidt.
Well, you know Jeff Hammerschmidt's going to be around that football if you put it up in the air like that. But that was really a nice throw by Conklin to lay it up over the top. Good touch to put the ball out there. And when you look at the Huskies, probably there are several things that we'll talk about as the game goes along. One of them is that they have so many more better receivers than they've had in recent years and better speed.
4 catches, 72 yards now for McKay. They go from the eye again. Conklin this time has to roll away from trouble. Now throws downfield for Riley. It is caught at the 11-yard line. I waited to see if he caught the ball. I really wasn't sure. He had his back to us. A great grab and another concentration catch.
Yes, it was, and an excellent throw. And what happened is Hammerschmidt is coming across. You'll see the pressure by Chris Singleton in his face. Then you see Riley on a post move. Actually, Singleton chases Conklin out of the pocket. Right there, 37 coming across, jumping in the air, trying to put it away. That's Holt, or knock it away. Here you see Conklin. You'll see him dodge Singleton right there. But on the move, that's a tough throw going to your left and laying it right on the money.
50 yards on the pass play from Conklin to Riley. And Conklin wants a timeout. And Kerry Conklin, who has had a career season so far, is having a career night tonight.
Yes, and Andre Riley came into this game with 9 catches, averaging 22 yards a grab. That helped, I might say.
14-10, Wildcats, Huskies on the move. We'll be back. On both sides of the line of scrimmage, both quarterbacks really doing a job. Look at this. Conklin, of course, hasn't run the ball at all, but he is 11 of 13 for 163 yards. And Ronald Veal having a tremendous game himself, 5 of 7 for 107 yards.
Well, secondary coach is not happy. And Andre Riley, a 76-yarder last week that didn't score, and a big one here. He has yet to score a touchdown.
2 tights, slot right. And this is Lewis with no place to go. Got a yard.
Boy, I'll tell you, a nice job there on Lewis to step back inside Darren Case. Weak side linebacker was coming across. And that's what Lewis saw, the angle. He has good quickness for his size at a little over 200 pounds.
They give Lewis 2 yards on that. It'll be a second down at 8. Huskies this time with 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts.
New look by the Huskies, this particular set.
Conklin straight back. A lot of time. Now it breaks down. He'll run to the 10. Head down to the 5-yard line. That was a coverage force that time, as it wasn't so much that Arizona had great pressure up front, but good coverage forced Conklin to run the football.
Yeah, he knew he was running out of time. He actually could have stood in there a little bit longer, but he's got a healthy respect for that good pass rush. Greg Lewis had faked inside on a run and then was wide open down the middle, but at that point a quarterback is thinking self-preservation, get the yards you can get, don't lose any if you can possibly help it. Conklin picked up a few. Now he's looking at about a 3rd and 4.
First run by anybody other than Lewis for the Huskies, and Washington will take a timeout. This is their second timeout. They'll have 1 left. There's 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the half. Wildcats lead it by 4. It's 14-10. Both teams moving the ball up and down the field virtually at will. Coach Don James on the left of your screen, Jeff Woodruff in the center of your screen, and I believe that's
greatest feeling in his life, catching his own son. In fact, he caught the championship doubleheader in 102-degree heat and didn't get a pass ball. Coach told me he's a competitor. Back upstairs.
Yeah, he really is. An interesting guy, too. One of the more likable guys. Very interesting the way he has put this program together here at Arizona. He had been a passing coach, ran out of the pro set when he was in Hawaii, came here, nobody in this conference, ran the triple option. He said, that's what I'm going to do. Big play, 3rd down and 4. McKay in motion. Conklin, play fake, being chased, looks to end zone, throws. It is intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and that is the first interception for Kerry Conklin in 116 throws, 117 throws.
And I almost think he was trying to throw the football away right there. A push by Reggie Johnson in the secondary, managed to get away with it. And Orlando McKay is in motion, coming down to the inside. You'll see Conklin coming out to the right after the play fake, and Johnson, tremendous speed, chased him down, fastest man on the team, if you can believe that, for defensive end. There's the ball up in the air, and it gets bounced around a little bit, and of course finally picked off by Holt. But McKay was the man, and he got knocked down before the ball was thrown.
I think you're absolutely right. I think Conklin was trying to throw it away. Give this time to Hampton. He gets across the 20 to the 21.
That's a tough blow for the Huskies right there.
McKay actually almost caught the ball, had a hand on the ball, batted it out in front. Good pressure up front this time.
How about a 4-5 defensive end chasing you? Fastest guy on the team. Are you kidding me? With the great running backs they have, that was number 47, Reggie Johnson.
Whew. Yeah, he's a player.
Oh, is he ever. Conklin just couldn't get enough on the football because Johnson was harassing him to throw it out of the end zone.
So both teams have now turned it over deep in the other's territory. This time it's McGill, nothing.
Well, Washington might entertain a timeout here with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. They stop this next play. They got a couple timeouts. They'll get a chance for a punt return and then several plays. But it doesn't look like they're going to take one. It always surprises me about college football that they don't utilize their timeouts. Now they take one, it looks like. Well, no, they aren't either.
Well, the
Huskies, that clock run. I just don't understand why they don't use them a little more judiciously.
Well, the Huskies have only one remaining, so
still use it.
Might use it here, though, after this break.
Yep, they'll have to.
Out of the wishbone. Beal will throw. Rolls right. And does throw underneath, and that should be a flag. But no, they say he was playing the ball. A lot of body contact there by Lilo Lang.
Well, the crowd thought that it should have been a flag thrown.
And now the Huskies don't have to burn a timeout because the clock will stop on the incomplete pass.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they did that. Look at Lilo. He's making contact, but that's a ball that's clearly out of bounds and no possible chance to catch it. And I'm sure the factor why the official didn't drop one right there. Put a little touch on him for a few yards.
Mincy is the deep man, and the Huskies show a 10-man front. Needs to punt it. Huskies come after this one. Neese really nailed it. And a fair catch, Mincy at the 43. So 25 seconds left for the Washington Huskies to try to get, if they can, within a point of the Arizona Wildcats. I don't know that they would go to the end zone here, but they might try to work it into field goal range for John McCallum. And field goal range for McCallum is about 50 yards.
Well, if they pick up about 20 yards in a couple of plays, they should be able to get at least 3 pass plays off. They did salvage that timeout. And what I was saying is that I knew they had one timeout available, but from an offensive standpoint, I don't think a lot of colleges use their 3 timeouts very effectively.
3 wideouts, 1 score, 1 sent back Lewis. Straight back. Throws this time and throws out of bounds. Intended for Riley. He was well covered that time by Scott Dyer.
He was well covered. That was really just a throwaway ball. And he had a lot of hop on his fastball. I'll tell you, he's got a strong arm firing that football. You know, in the past, and last year he didn't come off a particularly good one, Barry. This offense has lent far more towards using his abilities as you look at Conklin's numbers right there. We talk about that's the first interception, and it is. Last week, 3 touchdown passes. Tonight, 1. But he'd sure like that last one back, I can tell you that.
Same set this time for the Huskies. Big rush this time. Conklin throws behind Ames. Somebody got a hand on that. It was Reggie Gaddis.
Gaddis replaced Reggie Johnson, that defensive right end, giving Adam Cooney, the offensive left tackle, a change-up of personnel. The fast, quick Reggie Johnson, and then the Gaddis, a little bigger, a little stronger type of a pass rush, more of a bull rush. Got by him, but 14 seconds left. They need at least 20 yards here. They may have to go down the middle and then use their timeout.
This time it's a slot left, 3 wideouts. Quick hitch pass this time, and that's not going to do much.
I don't understand that call. Or that play. They'll let it run out now.
And the half comes to an end with that pass play. And a most interesting first half. Dick Tomey leads his Wildcats off the field, and they're in front on the scoreboard. It's 14 Wildcats, 10 Huskies. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week.
Arizona has there. They have dominated.
Tomey leads his Wildcats off the field, and they're in front on the scoreboard. It's 14 Wildcats, 10 Huskies. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week.
Arizona has there. They have dominated. Washington not rushing nearly as well as they had in the past. The passing game, Huskies about where they thought they might be, but Arizona ahead of the game. Tomey said they had to throw the ball. They had to make catches. They're doing it. Total yards relatively even, but a lot of yards racked up against two good defenses, and the time of possession, of course, very close, as the score is in itself at 14-10 here at the halftime.
Pretty even numbers, as we said. Here's a look at the Arizona bench as they prepare for the second half. They did an excellent job in the first half, particularly on the offensive side of the football. Ronald Veal leading his team, and Kerry Conklin over on the Washington side leading his team. Both quarterbacks putting up big numbers, 12 of 17 for Kerry Conklin, and for Ronald Veal, almost equal numbers for him. A lot of yards, a lot of big plays, offense. That was the story of the first half. Here's Ronald Veal. There's his numbers. 5 of 8 for 107 yards, culminated, of course, by the 52-yard touchdown catch that was made by Melvin Smith. So defense is taking a bit of a beating here, and we are looking at two of the better defensive teams in the Pac-10 Conference.
How about giving up points? They're 1-2. Washington's first unit had not given up a touchdown this season, and they were average, as you said, Barry, at the start of the game. We talked about a 58, 59-yard run. Well, you saw the numbers, over 100 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns here in the ball game.
So again, you saw the Huskies there respecting the quick kick and the trickery of Dick Tomey, and he's always got a bag full of tricks. So Neese will kick it away, kicking to Bryant and Jones. Really rooted this one. Forget about it. What a kick.
Was it ever?
Neese has a strong, strong leg. So the Huskies will start at the 20-yard line. Interesting comment, I thought, made by Don James. We were talking about his running back, Greg Lewis, and he said Lewis is probably a better running back against a quick team like Arizona, because he says he cuts back so well. When a team pursues as quickly as Arizona, it makes a cutback runner more effective. But Arizona, by and large, did a pretty good job on Lewis.
Done a good job, the whole defensive line against the run.
His longest run, just 8 yards. Huskies go out of the I formation on the first snap. Conklin straight back. Kind of a quick screen for Lewis. He's got room. 30. 40-yard line. Had one man to beat. That was Jeff Hammerschmidt. Hammerschmidt made the good one-on-one play.
And I'll tell you who almost made a great play is Chris Singleton, number 87. You'll see Conklin, quick screen out to his right, left side. There's 87 coming in the picture. Read it, reacted, got a hand on him, but the strength of the the leg drive of Lewis takes him downfield before Hammerschmidt prevents a possible touchdown.
Gain of 19 on the first snap of the second half. Huskies bring Orlando McKay way to the near side, really spreading the field out. They give it to Lewis again, cuts back, flag down. I don't remember, but 1 or 2 flags in this game, to tell you the truth. In fact, I'm not sure I remember one.
Well, the Huskies had just one penalty in the first half. And I'm not sure on Arizona at this point. I'll get those numbers directly. Penalties, the Huskies 1 for 5, none against Arizona.
So there's been one flag in a football game so far.
That's unusual.
See how I picked right up on that? You said there was 1 for the Huskies and none for Arizona, and I jumped right in there, said 1 penalty in this game.
Still first down.
Well, now there's been 2.
And that's a big one, 15-yarder. I'm a little surprised that Washington isn't throwing the ball just a little bit more and is trying to run at Arizona when really the strength of their football game is the pass, the control pass.
Coaches, of course, emphasizing the point that they had to be able to run, and they've run only with a modicum of success. First down now at 20.
Easy coverage for Conklin to read.
Straight back, Conklin throws this time. Bailey makes the catch, still on his feet down at the 39-yard line. It was Mark Jones, not Bailey. I'm picking up right where I left off, aren't I? Darrell Lewis and Chris Wright on the tackle.
Mark Jones, a freshman. and he takes a pretty big lick. As you'll see, he's the inside man in the slot here. A little out move right there. Now he turns upfield and bang, there's a forearm thrown at his head by Darrell Lewis, and then 3 other black jerseys to hammer him, but he got almost 15 back.
Second down. Call it 10. It's a long 10. They bring Lewis in motion. No running backs in there now. Wildcats 3-man rush. Conklin throws underneath for Ames at the 45. Darren Case makes the stop. Case has been very active defensively for the Wildcats tonight.
Good throw right there. Trying not to go too far upfield. Just get it back a little at a time. They'll be looking at a third and about 5, possibly 5.5. Conklin a good read. When I said the previous play, the Arizona secondary showing the coverage. They went to double coverage, and Conklin, that's the 2 outside guys. Conklin read it, came off to McKay, and that time to the tight end. As you see, Don James and the numbers of the wins between Donahue and John McKay.
Winningest coach in Pac-10 history,
Yes,
Don
indeed.
James. Third down and 5. Short 5. Big play early on in the second half. Conklin checked off. Late blitz coming. Throws. Did he make the catch?
Oh, that's close.
Yes, he did. Mario Bailey did make the catch. I believe it'll be a first down.
What a grab.
I thought the ball might have hit the ground first, but
Looked like he got it in.
Bailey did.
Look at it. Not a very big guy, 5'9", 170. Look at this as he goes down for that football, then gets the hand down, the right arm, to block the fall and cradle the ball going down.
And there's a look at Mario Bailey. You know, last year, for all intent, the Huskies had 1 wide receiver, Brian Slater. Now they have 6 quality wide receivers, and they're all underclassmen.
And all virtually kind of a little quick type.
They spread the field out once again on first down. Here comes the blitz. Throw caught by Riley. Riley cuts it inside, gets a little bit of room. He's got a lot of wiggle down to the 40-yard line. Nice run after the catch by Andre Riley. He's a big play guy.
Boy, is he ever. Players were all teasing him a lot because he got pulled down from behind against Purdue on that 76-yarder at about the 3-yard line. Johnson that time, Reggie, the defensive end, was in Conklin's face, but Riley taking a lot of ribs for not going to the end zone with the speed that he possesses.
Huskies hurried to the line of scrimmage. They didn't get the snap off quick enough, but they would have had Arizona in total disarray. Given to the tailback, Lewis, and he gets a couple. Time they caught Arizona napping just a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I think that was almost a case of Conklin, his offensive line not really being set to know who to block because of the confusion of the defense of Arizona, when he could have just gone ahead and run it. He probably caught him flat-footed there for about 8 or 10. Right now, the Huskies on a nice drive.
Second down and 8. Ball at the 38. 3 wideouts, 1 setback. Now they bring Lewis in motion. Wildcats come with everybody. 5-man rush. Conklin airs it out. Should get single coverage, but Conklin that time threw it a little bit long for Mark Jones. That was the right call, of course. Conklin saw the blitz coming. They were coming with the 2 inside linebackers. That meant they had single coverage on the intended receiver, Mark Jones, but Conklin had to throw it a little bit earlier than he would have liked.
Yes, I think he probably saw those defensive people in his face, took his eye off his receiver. Had he led Mark Jones to the inside, Jones had the whole middle of the field to maneuver, kind of like a semi-post pattern, would have been running away from the safety and could have gotten an easy 6-pointer.
Now, however, 3rd and 8 for the Huskies. Here's a 7-man front, 8-man front. Conklin straight back. They pick the blitz up. Conklin throws deep, but again threw it to the wrong side, but coming under for the catch, and a great catch, Mario Bailey. Conklin actually threw the ball to the wrong side. Bailey curled around the defender and came back to make the catch. And back upfield, an injured Husky, it is Bill Ames coming off slowly. Might have just had his bell rung. Here's another look. Watch this catch by Bailey.
Bang, that was that bear-type defense. 9 people were coming. The ball will be to the left of Bailey. He just went around the inside right there of Richard Holt. And we've talked concentration several times tonight on the part of the receivers. Well, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. That was a terrific play on his part.
2 very nice catches by Bailey on this drive. First down and goal. Huskies at the 7-yard line. Fullback Compton. Touchdown, Washington. First time they ran that play, and they did it with pretty good success, I'd say.
Did they ever? And I'll tell you another thing. That was great blocking up front. Bernd Brostek, number 60, the center, and Rick Schulberg, number 76. You'll see him there in the left of your screen. Look at their move. As Compton comes in there, good low leverage as he runs right over Jeff Hammerschmidt at the goal line. That is hard, tough running, what you call smelling the end zone.
Compton brings a load with him, 5'11", 236 pounds.
Out of Texas.
And Dara, Texas. McCallum to try to add the 17th point. And does. 10:49 remaining third period. Huskies go back in front. They lead the Wildcats 17-14. But it ain't over.
When it comes to roominess, the 1989 Toyota Camry will make you sit down and take notice. It's spacious and comfortable. Best of all, the Camry gives you Toyota quality and room with a great view.
I like catching a ride. The fire in your eyes. Heading upstream. Girl of my dreams and cold Coors beer. It takes a part of this country as cold and clean as the Rockies to brew a beer as pure and natural as Coors. Brewery fresh, just like you like it. Tap an ice cold Coors with a brand of yours. A Rocky Mountain legend, an American original.
17-14 Huskies, and you have an idea that Kerry Conklin might want to go over to Mario Bailey and say, thanks a lot, pal. He made 2 great catches.
Ground transportation arranged through Hertz, offering unlimited mileage on all Hertz affordable and super affordable weekly rentals. Hertz for your business and vacation rentals.
So there's the way it looked. 9 plays, 80 yards. Compton runs it in from 7 yards out on his first carry of the day. Bailey with the 2 catches in that drive for 36 yards, both of the impossible variety. Conklin now having a career. 18 of 24, 245 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception.
And the Huskies overcoming a big 15-yard holding penalty in that drive. Well, I guess it was 10 yards. Change those rules on it. Of course, it's been in effect for several years.
I think they changed it in 1948.
Yes, it's been a few years.
McCallum to kick it off now, kicking to Sapp and Bates. And they can bring it. Seem to be kicking it away from Sapp. Bates at the 2, to the 10, to the 15. Gets outside 20. Tripped up as he crosses the 25-yard line. The Huskies say they took it away. I don't think they're going to give Washington that one. Eric Briscoe on the tackle. So Bates returns at 23 yards.
Almost looks like he coughs the ball up here. When he hits the ground, you'll see him come in low as he hurdles for some extras. Well, no, I guess he did hit the ground. Awfully close, very close from that standpoint.
I think the officials made the right call there. Ball at the 25-yard line, just across the 25. We said the 26, and that's where Ronald Beal starts. He's got Hampton and Eldridge in the backfield with him, and McGill on the wing. Beal this time keeps it, turns it upfield, 30, 35, 40, out of bounds the 43. And it is really starting to be an offensive showcase here with 2 great defensive teams playing the game.
Well, Ron Beal had carried 9 times in the first half. Off the option there again, the fake, trailing the play there. Number 25, David Eldridge. He takes it up inside. You start to see some missed tackles, a block out there on Lilo Lang to give him a chance to turn it upfield. They lost the contain in the pursuit on the inside. Once more, it looked like James Clifford did not get there.
Clifford having a tough game.
Well, he's got to respect that inside run first.
Right now, he's got to go back and get his equipment.
And his shoes.
Yes. This time they give it to the fullback Hampton, and he only got about a yard. Chico Fraley on the stop.
That's called a frustration tackle right there with James Clifford hitting inside. But I'll tell you what, you know, one thing that's happened in football, offensive linemen are so big. Everybody's got these 290, 95 pounders. The linebackers, they've got to find the running back, and that's what makes this offense so effective with all the multiple ball handling in there to search through it and determine where the runner is.
Here's Veal out of the wishbone. They threw out of this for the big play in the first half. Now they bring Eldridge on the wing. Veal this time gives to McGill on a slant. McGill doesn't get much. It's about the 48. Richardson and Fraley on the stop. And the Wildcats have just had better success taking it outside the tackles rather than inside.
Yes, and with that option.
On the Washington bench, coaching staff talking it over with the offense. I would think to the offense, you just say, do what you've been doing.
Okay? Just keep knocking them off the ball.
And the Wildcats have asked for a timeout. That's a timeout they might not have wanted to burn in a close game. 9:26 remaining, third quarter. Huskies 17, Wildcats 14. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. Third and 4, big play for Ronald Veal here. Veal this time on the keeper and brought down back at the 45-yard line. Huskies, great pursuit that time. Did not allow Veal to pitch the ball. Travis Richardson, who's been playing very well defensively with help from Dennis Brown, the force.
Yeah, watch Dennis Brown, 79, crashes to the inside right there. Picks off the running back that's supposed to block or make the play fake. And then, of course, Richardson, quick recovery to grab Veal. Big play for the Huskies at that stage. Now they're looking at a fourth down. They're going to get the football back.
So Neese will come on to punt it away now. And the deep man is Charles Mincy. Stands right now back at his 13-yard line. Huskies this time will play run back. They rushed one man who actually got through. Mincy, fair catch, lets it bounce, and it will bounce out of bounds the 18-yard line. So Mincy wisely backed away from that, let it go. It was a little bit shorter kick than Mincy anticipated, only 30
Well, I think even more games are won in the fourth quarter. It looks like it's coming down to it.
This time they line up in a variation of the I formation. But they do have a fullback in the game. And they give this to Lewis, trying to get outside, trying to get around Lewis. And he did get around Lewis and took a late hit as he went out of bounds after a gain of about 5.
Little blindside there.
Salem and Hammerschmidt ran him out. He did get around Lewis.
Got over the bench, caught a fan on the sidelines who bumped his head. He's rubbing it now. Lewis took a pretty good lick. I almost thought it was a little late, but you'll see Hammerschmidt. It's close. Lewis shouldn't ease up when he gets to the sideline. Hammerschmidt has been kind of a wild type player. His dad said he was always that way. You see the fans go down in a tumble, but Hammerschmidt, he's going to hit something if it's out there. Former quarterback, got a different attitude on defense.
Don James not pleased at the fact he didn't get a late hit call. Here's Lewis, moves it outside nicely, has a first down at the 30-yard line. Scott Geyer makes the stop. Right at the moment in this game, the Washington offensive line is getting off the ball quicker than the Arizona defense can react.
Well, you know, people were talking about, is the weather condition going to be a problem for the Huskies coming out of the north into this heat? And, you know, that's one of those things where you start the fluids early. They've got so many good techniques to use. That specifically is important, and it doesn't seem to be bothering them in the slightest.
This time a trips right set. They haven't used that very much tonight. Now they bring Lewis in motion to the left side. Here comes the blitz. Conklin rolls away from trouble, throws underneath to Lewis. A gain of about 9 to the 40-yard line. Scott Geyer on the tackle.
And the guy that made it was Aaron Pierce, the backup tight end, as he went in a kind of a slant pattern to the outside, screened the defensive man, allowing Lewis to come underneath him. Just a little delay. It's pitch and catch, and a nice 9-yard, 9.5-yard gain. The Huskies on another decent drive here.
Look at these numbers.
Whew, boy.
Pretty impressive.
Yes, they are. Well, that's what that short passing game will do for you.
This time they go out of the I formation in the short yardage situation, and they give it to Compton again, and Compton gets to midfield. A great individual effort by Compton. He's carried the ball twice, and he's turned in 2 big plays, one for a touchdown. Hammerschmidt makes the tackle.
And And the blocking up front, when you said the Washington offense, that's Bostic in the middle, shoving back the defensive nose guard, Ken Hakes, to open it up. And look at the forward lean. Now Compton gets the hand down. See his hand down there twice to kind of give him some leverage and a couple extra yards out of it.
Let's mention the name of Rick Schulberg, too.
Oh, yes.
Nice clearing block on a linebacker.
Yes, indeed.
This time Lewis comes in motion again, creating a trips left. No setbacks. Three-man rush. Conklin hitch past Lewis to the 45, out of bounds, the 44. You really have to credit the offensive line. When you look at the kind of patterns that the Huskies are running right now, they're taking Lewis out of the backfield, so they got no help in the backfield. It's all the offensive line. Of course, they do have two tight ends in there to help up front, but Conklin is just not being pressured.
Yeah, and the other thing they're doing is you have to give credit to the play scheme that the Huskies are using here. They're effective getting rid of the ball and taking away the rush of the Arizona defense.
They go out of the I formation again, and they give us to Conklin again. And Conklin gets it to the 40-yard line. It'll be another Husky first down. Anthony Smith and Darren Case make the tackle. Let's go to the sidelines at Bill McDonald quickly.
Barry, you're exactly right. No rush at all on Gary Conklin, and that is what the coaches are spending 100% of the time on down here on the Arizona bench. They're diagramming new ways to rush the passer. They're just not getting it, but even though Conklin is slicing and dicing, still the name of the game for Arizona. Get that quarterback and hurt him. Back to you.
Might not have enough X's on that board. Slot right, 3 wides. Blitz is picked up. Throw is good to Riley. Riley gains about 7 to the 33-yard line. Darrell Lewis on the tackle. I'll tell you, this is a well-oiled machine that we're looking at right now.
And you notice the high percentage passes that they're throwing. That's what's taking away, not to be redundant, the pass rush, because the ball has gone quickly. Keith Gilbertson, the head coach formerly of Idaho, came over to the Huskies as the offensive line coach and really was very instrumental in putting this type of an offense in, along with Gary Pinkel, the offensive coordinator. It's been effective.
3 wides, 1 set back on 2nd and 4. Conklin this time on a sprint draw for Lewis, and the Wildcats defense that very well. Loss of about 2. Chris Singleton first man to it.
Hard to go wide on Arizona with their overall team speed and quickness. It's really starting out as a slant play. Conklin on the handoff. Now watch right there as Lewis veers to the outside, but Singleton, who leads this team in tackles at 248 pounds, not to be denied. If he doesn't take you straight on with his strength, he can outrun you in most instances with the angle.
So now the Huskies looking at a 3rd and 6. And they'll go from the I formation. Conklin will throw. Big rush. Quick hitch. Lewis to the 30. Be close. I think he got it.
I do too. I tell you, very lucky there. That was a quick screen out to the side to Lewis. Couple linemen getting out in front of it. Almost downfield. Looked like they were across the line of scrimmage. The timing not there, but the officials missed it, and Lewis picked up a very important first down.
As you see, his 4th catch for 43 yards.
Yeah, he's been a good receiver out of the backfield for him.
I thought it was interesting in talking with Don James. He calls his offense an answer offense. Whatever the defense puts up for you, there is an answer on the offensive side of the ball. This time Lewis in motion, and Compton alone setback. Compton straight ahead. Fights for yardage, the 25. Got about 4. Now that's a good indication of what the offensive line is doing, because there was nothing there, and he still gained 4 yards.
Just a little bit of a surge is what made it happen at that stage.
Bostic and Pahukoa, the center and right guard respectively.
And Schulberg a little help in there. And one thing that the Huskies have done, we haven't touched on it yet tonight, Barry, is that they shortened up those line splits in this offensive attack. They're down to about a 1-foot split when before they were 2.5, 3 feet at times. Helps the pass blocking.
Single coverage on Riley. Let's see if they go to, or rather on McKay, I believe that is in the slot. And they give it to Lewis. And Lewis doesn't get much.
20. Ball carrier.
Oh, you were talking a moment ago about the spacing with the offensive linemen. Here's what we mean.
from the end zone, you see those offensive linemen a little closer. That's kind of a slip block between the left guard and the center at that stage, but it helps the pass blocking, and from the run standpoint, it gives them a little more confidence when they're moving for position, such as that play that started out as a double team, and then one of the players adjusts.
Trips left this time on 3rd and 4. I'll call it 3rd and 5. Conklin checking on. They're thinking blitz here, and they come with a blitz. Conklin in trouble. And is they going to call that a forward pass or a fumble? I don't know. It's going to be an official decision. They're going to call it incomplete pass.
Was it incomplete, or did somebody get it under the pile?
I think they're going to call it an incomplete pass. In any case, it's going to be 4th down.
And Conklin, I think he was aware of the blitz there.
Oh, yes.
Barry. And I think he just gambled and thought he could get rid of it. See, he's taking a look. You know he made the change. See, he's signaling right there. Whoops, he gets a little movement, but that's okay. Now he's got to let it go. See, there's a man in his face, jumps up, but he can't throw it. Better, he should have gone for the 5-yard play.
You know, that was awfully close to an interception on that replay. It looked like a black shirt underneath there. Might have caught the ball. McCallum will try a 41-yarder. Didn't get a good snap. But did he get enough? No. I think that was a bad snap or a bad hold. I'm not quite sure which.
I thought the hold came down slow. He was off to the right. His timing a little bit bad. And, of course, the adjustment now when you don't have that kicking tee.
Let's take a look at it, see if it was the snap or the hold. It was the snap, I think. A low snap, and a holder could not get it up. 17-14, Huskies. We'll be back. The football again, but came up empty because of an errant either snap or hold. Let's take another look at this, Don. Talk us through this. I'm not quite sure what it was. I think
well,
it was
it's down low. Let me tell you something. Yeah, the snap was low. I have held for the likes of Pat Summerall and Ben Agajani in the old days. The low snaps are much easier to handle than the ones that are high. He should have got that ball up there.
So the Wildcats start things now, and Ronald Veal will throw on 1st down. Underneath, and a great defensive play on Mario Hampton. James Clifford that time making some amends for what has been a tough evening for him. Fine play that time.
Yes, indeed. He is locked in on the responsibility. And, you know, we've been a little critical of him at times. We're not always sure of his responsibility, but he has made both good plays and questionable plays through the course of tonight's game.
You see Greg Travis in the ballgame in an outside linebacker spot right now for the Huskies, replacing Brett Collins. They bring McGill in motion. And Veal this time pitches, and nothing doing. Nothing doing.
Travis Richardson right in his face on the pitch.
Travis Richardson having a great game. Briscoe there for the stop.
That's the way you play the option, where you get a force man in a hurry on the quarterback, in this case Ron Veal, who executes it as well as anybody. Not quite as well to his left, incidentally, as to his right. But Richardson forced him to pitch it, and then, of course, a quick recovery for the tackle, but he was going to go down anyway because he saw it coming.
So 3rd down and 17, and this is what every defense wants to get Arizona in, a must-pass situation. They bring Griffith, the tight end, in. They don't usually use tight ends. They will throw to him. And this time deep and open was Smith for the catch at the 45-yard line. That was a missed assignment, I'm quite sure. Lilo Lang coming back, but too late.
Now, what it was is Lilo Lang bites on the post move. As you watch right there, he starts down, now to the in, now the out. See Lilo Lang get turned around. That's called a zig out move. And as a result, he bites on Smith's in move, and there's no reason, as you see Melvin's numbers there, and that was an excellent throw and a poor defensive play.
27 yards on that throw and catch. Veal to Melvin Smith. They've been the big play guys. Pitch to Eldridge this time, and nothing doing there. To the 45-yard line. The Huskies started to defense that pitch well. Greg Travis, first man to him. Dennis Brown was the man who forced the action back.
Well, Dennis Brown did exactly what Travis Richardson did the previous time they ran that play, going to the left side. And what he's doing is he's running what you might call a crash. He's taking a hard inside maneuver inside of the offensive tackle, and then the other people, the discipline we talked about early in the ballgame, taking care of their responsibilities, and they're stopping it.
Time running out in the 3rd quarter, as you see. 2nd down, 11. Veal on the inside handoff this time, and the Huskies don't bite on that one. It was Earl Sapp, the ball carrier. And the Huskies have defensed that pretty well. Dick Tomey back to the drawing board. Try to find something else that works.
And watch the defensive line. Brown, see how they influence him with 63 step back to make him think it was pass, draw him upfield, and then kind of run inside of him. But it didn't work as we get ready for the fourth quarter.
Brown reacting to it brilliantly. There's
Beautiful.
Kerry Compton waiting for his chance. 17-14. Huskies will be back. Ball at the 46-yard line as we start the fourth and final period. And the Wildcats look at a 3rd and 9. And let's see, somebody jumped, I believe. Procedure against Arizona, I'm quite sure.
That makes coaches get a little frustrated, I can tell you that. And as you were talking about those third quarter notes, we don't know yet, Barry, with 15 minutes to go here, how important that missed field goal could be. But there are a lot of possibilities.
Good ball. False start against the offense. 2 seconds ran off the clock. Should be 15 minutes. Even. Thank you.
The official said 2 seconds ran off the clock. They moved it back to 15 minutes here in this fourth quarter. But the importance of that field goal, if Washington gets it at that stage, they go 20-14. That gives them a nice edge. Even if Arizona scores, they're still 1 point down. Here's a big play coming up.
3rd down and 14 now for Ronald Beal. They bring McGill in motion. Beal, deep drive. Throws, caught by Smith. Same play as last time. And Smith almost, were he able to stay on his feet, would have turned that into a touchdown. Lilo Lang got turned 18 ways again.
Exactly the same pattern. He sells them the post move. You'll see Smith come down, now take the inside, outside. Lang's turning and running. He doesn't even know where he is at that stage. You cannot turn your back on the receiver coming downfield because you'll lose him and he'll cut right back behind you. Smith almost cut behind him there for the end zone. So a big 3rd down play by Veal and Smith.
23 yards on that one. They go out of the wishbone this time. Ball at the 36. Big play that time. Give it to the fullback. Hampton into the open, down to the 23-yard line. Burkhalter, the saving tackle.
Boy, it was a saving tackle. A crash from the right side. You'll see in the screen where Veal will come down. Bang. He takes and thinks that's there. But look at, as Burkhalter breaks through there, so well executed by Veal, the defensive personnel had no idea where the football was at that point.
Ball at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Out of the wishbone once again. Now they bring Eldridge on the wing. Field gives this time to McGill into the open, to the 10, to the 5, inside the 5 to the 3-yard line.
Well, Greg Travis makes the play. Paul Toffelmeyer starts a block to his left. David Ronnie left to right coming around. That looks like James Clifford got some help there too. But actually, the back breaks behind it all the way. And Don James not happy. 2 big 3rd down plays have kept this drive alive.
1st down and goal, Wildcats at the 3. McGill again, but this time he is stopped at about the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a yard. Dennis Brown and Martin Harrison on the stop.
Well, you're in the fourth quarter. You're leading by 3 points. It's hot. You call this a gut check time. You've got to really tighten it up. If the Huskies could hold them to at least 3 points, it would be a major lift. On the other hand, Arizona, if they come away with 7, it gives them old man Mo working for them.
And a big edge with a 4-point lead should they punch it in here. Out of the wishbone again. This time the fullback Hampton, and he doesn't get much.
There's a lot of pressure on a quarterback like Veal to read whether or not to leave the ball in there to Hampton in this case, or pull it back out and come down the line. And Washington tightening up at least on the first 2 downs. And I'm not sure. I would suspect at this stage, good chance that they'd go with the option. The Huskies running in a couple extra defensive backs, but the option here, hard play to defense.
They go from the wishbone once again. Veal a quarterback, and now Veal wants a timeout. As the Huskies hustled a couple of defensive replacements in at the last minute, and Ronald Veal has burned the 2nd timeout for the Wildcats. They have only 1 left. And Dick Tomey will talk it over. I don't think Dick's too pleased that he had to call a timeout there. 17-14 Huskies. You're watching the Pac-10 game of the week. Option obviously features 3 running backs and the quarterback. And so far tonight, the quarterback's gained 54 yards, Eldridge 56, Hampton a fullback 58, and McGill, the other wingback, 34 yards. Not too bad. Balanced offense for Arizona.
It has been extremely balanced. Of course, Ron Beal throwing the ball very effectively off mostly play-action fakes.
This time they bring McGill on the wing, Hampton the fullback, and Eldridge the other running back.
Option right.
3rd down and 3. They go to the left. Beal keeps it, now pitches it at the last minute. The Huskies haven't defended well, and I mean Ronald Beal held on to that ball till the very last second.
And he paid for it a little bit too. Well, I said option right, but they went left with it. Very tough play down there. Ron Beal, when you said hung on to it, watch him coming down the line. Watch the hit. Bang! Right smack in the headgear by Greg Travis, a linebacker. And I want to tell you, that hurts.
Good pursuit by Charles Mincy to stop Eldridge after the pitch, and now Pfaff will try a field goal. Chip shot field goal for him, 20 yards. Tough angle, though.
No problem.
This will tie it. On its way. And perfect. So the Wildcats have tied it up at 17 here. Husky defense stiffening after the Wildcats have taken it to the 3 on 1st down. We're tied at 17, and we'll be back.
If you like to be seen in all the right circles,
Right beer now.
if you think there's a certain quality to beer that comes from up here,
Right beer now.
if you believe in letting the good times pour, reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. Yeah, it's the right beer now. It's the right beer now.
It took 2,000 years, but a revolutionary discovery is changing the way men think about coloring their gray hair. It's called Just for Men, from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, shampoo out. Your gray is blended away, leaving your natural-looking color. 5 minutes. Here, look at me. Just for Men leaves your hair looking healthy and fuller, and it won't fade or wash out. Just for Men, in the men's hair care section.
Well, this game exactly as it has been the last couple of years. 21-21 in 1987. Last year, a final second field goal, 16-13 Cats.
Accommodations arranged through Hilton Hotels, now offering double points to Hilton Honors members using the American Express card at participating hotels only at Hilton.
So we expected that this game could come down to the 4th quarter and in fact to the final seconds, and that scenario seems to be being played out.
Well, with 11 minutes and 53 seconds to go, doesn't get any closer. 17 apiece. And a lot of big plays. Actually, for the big plays in this ball game, you'd have thought there'd have been more scoring.
That's true. Both teams really moving it up and down the field, but stiffening when they get in close. So needs to kick it off. Drives this one deep. And they're going to try it. This is Bryant to the 10, to the 20, to about the 21-yard line. So a lot of effort to pick up maybe 1 or 2 additional yards.
You know, you made some reference and still a lot of time to go. But the 3 timeouts that the Huskies have left as we check the scoring drive, that is a long drive, 12 plays, better than 5.5 minutes, ending with a field goal. You like to get more than that, but at least they did get yardage out of it. But that three timeouts to Arizona's 1 may become a factor as this game progresses down to the end of the 4th quarter.
No question about it. So now Kerry Conklin. 3 wideouts in the ballgame. 1 setback on 1st down at the 21. Conklin checking off.
That's that fair defense. Full blitz.
They come with a 6-man rush, and it's picked up. Now Conklin waving his receiver deep. He didn't go. Now he does, but it's too late. That was just a miscommunication between McKay. A flag is down. And I think that's probably going to go, well, I don't know. That's in the area that it could be a hold either way, actually.
It's on the far side over in front of the Arizona bench. Actually, a number of the Arizona players are beyond what they refer to as the restraining line. We get the call here from the official. They're down, and a lot of them around the 30 and inside the 25.
It'll be first and
Dead ball, delay a game against the offense. The clock should be 11:48.
Dead ball delay of game. Now, I'm not sure what that was for. It wasn't too much time.
It'd have to be if he says delay a game.
Well, no, it could be if he spiked the ball or something like that at the end of the play. I'm not certain what it was.
He overthrew him with the pass.
Good point.
Hard to spike.
Straight back to pass Conklin. Conklin throws underneath. This time it is caught by McKay, and McKay is stopped at the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 12. Darrell Lewis and Scott Geyer on the tackle.
I can tell you one thing, Barry. Right now, tempers are getting heated. McKay should have gone upfield the time before. He'll run a hook right here on Darrell Lewis. Now watch Lewis come back, giving him far too much room. McKay starts to go down. Now watch Lewis try and jerk the ball out of there as he gets some help from some of his other players coming across to give a little support. Jimmy Tucker, the other man, in on that one.
There you see the numbers on McKay, 5 catches.
At 4 coming into this ball game.
Out of the I formation. Conklin this time on the option. Pitches short side to Lewis. Well defended that time. Scott Geyer was right on top of Lewis.
Darren Case put the pressure on Conklin to make him pitch it.
Let's pause 10 seconds to let our local systems identify themselves. Substitution for the Huskies as Jay Berry comes in at a running back spot.
Not real big. 5'10", 181-pound redshirt freshman.
They go with a full house backfield. So it is Berry, Lewis, and Compton on 3rd and short. And I don't know if Lewis got it. I don't think he did.
I don't either.
It is not a fumble.
You know what it looked like right there? Washington appeared to go on a quick count. They did not get their offense set real good to read the blocks. Arizona was ready for it. They got across on the snap of the ball faster than the Huskies got off on it. Got the penetration, giving Lewis nowhere to go. Big, big defensive play.
Yes, it was. And now Channing Wiles will come on to punt it away. And conceivably, the Wildcats could get some pretty good field position here. Punting has not been the highlight of this evening on either side.
No, and both of them pretty good punters, but Channing only 34-yard average as opposed to Nice, who is a 40-yard average kicker. They need to boom one, and Arizona has a man short on their return team, and they're going to have to use their last time out.
And that is a serious
9 guys.
mistake, very serious mistake, and that one is probably the responsibility of the bench. Dick Tomey, not a happy camper. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. That's the good news for Arizona. The bad news is they've had to burn all 3 of their timeouts in the second half, and there are still 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. And the game, of course, is tied, so timeouts could become critical. Channing Wiles hits this one. Hit it pretty good, actually. Oh, he didn't hit it short. I saw Lewis going back, and Lewis was just getting away from it. Falls at the 43-yard line. So good field position for the Arizona Wildcats. I saw Lewis go back on the ball, and I thought he was going back to field a long punt. In fact, he was just getting away from it.
They put it right up the elevator shaft right at that point, and that really hurts the Huskies. From that standpoint of field position there, they'll have the ball at just inside of their own 45-yard line. Doesn't take too many first downs to get a shot at a potential field goal.
9:42 remaining in the ball game. Wildcats with excellent field position. Ronald Veal, the quarterback. They give it to Hampton straight ahead. Hampton only gets a couple. Give him 3. Hampton now 12 carries, 60 yards. Let's look at Ronald Veal. He'll be back for another year. As a freshman, he ran for 1,300 yards and threw for 1,300 yards.
And he's thrown extremely well tonight. And that's one thing that Dick Tomey said that they had to be effective passing the football. They needed some big catches. They got them. They needed some throwing out of Veal. They've got it up to this point.
2nd down and 7. This time Veal on a keeper, dragged down nicely by Martin Harrison before he had an opportunity to pitch to McGill. Loss of 3. And it'll be 3rd and 10, and Arizona has gotten the job done on 3rd and long. This is a team that you want to get in 3rd and long situations, and to their credit, they have made the big plays on 3rd and long.
Yes, and Paul Toffelmeyer, the center, and John Brandon, the right guard, just took the Huskies' nose tackle and drove him back there, John Cook, about 5 or 6 yards. They may go there again.
Melvin Smith has been the guy they've gone to in this situation. This time Veal straight back to pass. Late rush coming. Veal rolls away. Looks downfield. Throws for Mincy. Mincy was all over McGill that time, but no flag.
He might have gotten away with one. He had that left arm behind him. He had the right arm out in good shape. They're near the sidelines. I don't know that it would have been a catchable ball anyway, but the Huskies probably in this half the best pass rush they've had on Ron Veal.
So Neese comes in to punt as now the game settles down to a punting duel for the last couple of possessions. And Neese has had a tough time. He's got a big leg, but he's averaging, as you saw, only 31 yards. Punting game has been pretty sorry for both teams tonight.
He had a 67-yarder against Texas Tech.
Huskies this time play run back. Neese gets another short one, but it takes a good bounce. Ooh, Mincy taking a real chance there. I'll be willing to bet that Don James goes over and has just one word with Charles Mincy, and that word is don't. We'll be back right after this.
Defense, as we get a comparison of quarterbacks here, you see Conklin's numbers and Veal's numbers from the rushing standpoint, and then passing. Of course, the Huskies better than 100 yards ahead, but total yards, both guys, big night.
Both quarterbacks moving their team. That's the bottom line. Here's the give to Lewis. He stutter steps to about the 23-yard line. Gain of about 5 on 1st down.
Yeah, Rick Schulberg, the left guard, was pulling around to the right side. Got a nice little crack in there as Salem made the tackle. Not very big for a linebacker. Just a little over 200 pounds, but they've lost 3 starting linebackers thus far this season, so they've had to make a lot of adjustments, particularly in the inside.
Wildcats, by and large, containing Greg Lewis. 21 carries, 58 yards for him. Conklin straight back. Looks, throws underneath for Ames, makes the catch short of the 1st down at the 27-yard line. He'll be short by about a half a yard.
There was an adjustment, though, that Ames could make at that point. He started going lateral a little bit and lost about a half a yard, maybe a yard, when he could have turned. Now the officials say it is enough for a 1st down.
Gave a lot of progress on that.
Yes, he did. Good support as far as the Huskies are concerned. They don't care as long as they got the 1st down. They haven't had great field position this 2nd half. They've had to make the long drives.
2 setbacks, 2 wideouts.
Double coverage in the secondary.
Conklin straight back to pass. Has time. Throws. Comebacker unable to hang on that time. Was Riley. That would have been a tough catch. He had Geyer right in his back.
You know, I've seen receivers fall down a number of times this evening, and that grass is really absolutely perfect down there. If you walk around on it, it's cut short. It's a very fast track. They haven't had any rain on it, although there have been showers around the areas for about 2 days now, and yet these receivers have been slipping.
6:58 left in the ball game. Kerry Conklin now looking at a 2nd and 10. Checking off. That means the Huskies are thinking blitz. Flag down. Conklin airs it out. Was it too much time?
I believe so. And I think they got some movement from the left side of the offensive line.
I think so. I think Supeli Malamala might have moved.
A number of people were out of sync with that one. Crowd a little bit of an effect there as they were rising to the occasion and cheering their team on, creating a little problem for the Huskies to hear or for Conklin to get the signal together. You know what we're not seeing is the one-back set in the passing game so much. They're throwing out of the eye a little bit more here in this 4th quarter.
False start against the
Well, they said really that even though their reputation
should be
has been made
58
as a one-back team. They're running 50% two-back and 50% one-back.
Exactly. And they're running about 40% 6 or 7, 8-yard drops. But right now, looking at about a 2nd and 15, as McCallum on the sideline warming up a little bit there.
Both kickers could be a key player. And remember Bill McDonald mentioning that right at the very beginning of this show. Conklin this time looks deep, throws for Riley, caught and out of bounds. And it was Bailey, not Riley, on the catch. And Bailey has made some tough catches. Yes. 20 yards on that one and a first down.
And I'll tell you what, that was a fine grab. Richard Holt, you'll see the right side of your screen. That ball's on his way before he turned around for it. Holt had really very good coverage, but the ball was thrown so sharply that the timing was right there as Holt came out of the break.
You know, these wide receivers of the Huskies combined had a total of 13 catches, career combined coming into this season. They have more than that, of course, tonight amongst them. And it was hard work after spring practice that has made the difference. Conklin and is a young wide receiver. Give it to Lewis. Slips by the first man. 45 to the 49. Flag down.
Might be a face mask. Full blitz by Arizona. And I'll tell you what, he just split those two defenders at that stage and broke through there. I mean, they overran it.
And I think this is going to go against the Huskies, I believe. Holding the call. Might have been the tight end, Bill Ames.
Well, that's a possibility. Looking so much inside. You see Ames there, number 89. Getting to the outside. Now he's behind. Oops, he wraps that left arm around.
Yeah, that's a full takedown almost.
Yeah, I dare say that that Bill Ames.
Offense, still first down.
You know, a guy's 6'4", 241 pounds. I don't know why you have to hold necessarily. Working across from a guy not as big as he is. Zeno Alexander, 224 pounds and 6'1". Well, the Huskies got some real estate to make up here.
First and 20. Showing blitz of the Wildcats. They bring Lewis in motion. The Wildcats back off. 3-man rush. And they give it on a reverse this time to Riley. Riley cuts it upfield, gets to the 40-yard line. Flag down again.
Well, you know, you mentioned, Barry, just after the half, not many penalties. Here in the fourth quarter, going to be against the Dogs again, but all of a sudden we're seeing a little bit pass-happy flag throwers out there, despite the fact that certainly Ames was guilty before. I'd like to catch what this one's all about as Case talks to the ref.
It was a clip. And Don James saying, come on.
That's why I'd like to see it again if we'd have been quite so fortunate, but they might take the down.
Well, it was a gain of 8. The 40-yard line.
Make it 2nd and 12.
Clipping against the offense. Still first down.
Well, they take the penalty, and that will back the Huskies up considerably further.
Well, you know, one of the coaches here for Arizona played for Don James, the defensive secondary coach, Dwayne Aquina. He was a quarterback for Don in one of his first Rose Bowl team that beat Michigan some years back. Done a fine job. He was with Coach Comey over in Hawaii as well.
First and 30 now for the Washington Huskies. Conklin gives on a draw to Lewis, tries to step it outside, does so, gets to the 30-yard line and out of bounds, got about 8 back. Still a long way to go for the Huskies. Jeff Hammerschmidt runs him out.
Well, the importance right here, as much as anything, is Washington has to get some yards. In the event they have to kick, they've got to get out there where Channing Wiles can give them a little help. He has kicked so poorly here this evening that he's hurt them with field position. And you see the kicker for Arizona, he's thinking about when my turn might come up for a possible field goal. He knows the field position here.
His turn came up with 2 seconds to play against Oklahoma last week, and he did just fine.
And he got the Huskies last year, I believe.
Conklin airs it out down the middle for Bailey. Had to hang out at the 30-yard line.
You can't throw it much better than that. That is a ball that should have been caught not only for the big gain, but a possible touchdown at that stage. As you take a look, it's right down the middle against the zone. But look at here, how perfect that throw is. No reason to drop that ball. Not an easy catch over the shoulder, but by the same token, those are the kind of catches you have to make if you're going to win football games.
Well, he has made the impossible catches. That one might have just been a little bit too easy for him. It's Don James' daughter right there.
Cheerleader for the Huskies.
Right. What a great family the James are. Flagged out. Conklin throws a slant, incomplete.
That could be pass interference.
And if that's pass interference, that would be a most fortunate. Actually, be better for the Huskies if it was holding.
Well, you know, mentioned a little while back that this fourth quarter.
Dead ball. Delay of the game against the offense.
Well, I'm quite sure this one will be declined. Actually, I don't think they'll have an opportunity to decline it because I think the play will go over.
Well, you got to go back to that pass to Bailey. You don't get many gives in those situations. You got to make those plays despite the fact that he is just a sophomore. You don't get that kind of opportunity against this kind of a defensive unit. And we go back to Channing Wiles kicking. The field position is going to end up being so important in this contest.
Third down, 27. Crowd on its feet. Conklin, big rush. Steps up. Throws. Had it touched, I believe. Somebody tipped the ball at the line of scrimmage. So the Wildcats are going to get it back and conceivably get it back in pretty good field position with 6:11 remaining. I'll tell you, it seemed like no time has run off the clock.
Well, there's been a lot of throws that have been incomplete. Of course, that stopped the clock. And the Huskies defense rose up the last time around. They got Arizona 3 and out. It'd be important for them to do it again because they're going to be starting pretty close to midfield, I would suspect, and it won't take more than 10 or 15 yards to get a shot at a field goal.
10-man front again for the Wildcats. Wiles has not been able to hit one tonight. Lewis standing at the 41-yard line. And Wiles hits this one not real far to about the 42. Lewis stutter steps, got by the first man, did not get by the second. And the Wildcats will start in very good position at their own 44-yard line. 6:02 remaining, tied at 17. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week.
They're going to pitch, drill deep to right field. It's a hooking. It is a fair ball. Home run.
High fly ball, deep right field, racing back toward the wall to the warning track, and it is caught in center field. Cecil Espy. Oh, what a stop by Bouchel, and out at first.
That's one for this week in baseball. Ripped to right field, way back in the right. That ball is going. He did it.
Catch the Rangers on HSE, where the game's on us.
But I want to just mention a couple of things here. Dick Tomey said to us defense was the key. They had to play hard for 4 quarters. They're doing it. They had to stay close. It's 17 all. They needed a big play on offense or defense. Well, they've made several in the course of this game. They had to protect the passer and make the catches, throw effectively. They've done that. Field position was going to be a factor, which it frequently is, and the kicking game could decide it. We may well come down to all of those points.
And this could be a factor in the game, too. Right now, it's not a problem for the Wildcats. They have 6 minutes and 2 seconds, plenty of time. They go out of the wishbone. It's been successful for them. And they give it to McGill. And McGill got about 4, maybe 5. Almost broke that.
Yeah, and the Huskies almost jerked the football away from him. They were tackling the ball. That's what turned him around at the end. They're trying to pull that ball out of his arm. This is a time when you really got to wrap both arms around that football, particularly when you're hitting inside from tackle to tackle.
2nd and 5, so again, first down yardage for the Wildcats. 2 tight ends, 1 wide out of the wishbone. This time the fullback, Hampton. he got a couple.
Too many yards as far as Washington's concerned.
So the ball across midfield now at the 48-yard line, and Ronald Veal will be looking at a 3rd down and a long 2. Here's the way it's gone so far. Washington 406 yards, mostly through the air. Arizona 360 yards, mostly on the ground. Wildcats 4 of 10 in 3rd down conversions. Out of the wishbone. Veal keeps. He's got it. Down to the 42-yard line.
Well, you could say they were in 4-down territory at that point as James Clifford made the play, opened up inside. They didn't have anybody there to contain him. You see the eyes of Ronnie Veal. That's what he sees as he comes right at you. And he says, I'm going to get the yardage. Forget the pitch outside. I see that I've got that, and I'm going to get to it as Clifford, moving around in there, doesn't get to him quick enough.
They go for the wishbone again. They have let that double wing go here in the second half. And this time they give it to Eldridge, and Eldridge inside the 40 to the 38. A little while ago we were saying the Washington offensive line was getting off the ball quicker. Right now Arizona's offensive line is getting off the ball quicker.
Yes, and as you watched that play right there, you saw the interior of John Brandon, Paul Toffelmeyer, the center, and David Roney, the left guard, upfield about 3 to 4 yards. Black jerseys surging out, moving the white jerseys of the Huskies backwards.
This game's starting to look so much like the previous 2 with these 2 teams.
Decided by field goals.
And Arizona keeping the clock moving. This time not much on the handoff. A gain of about 3 by Hampton.
Big down right here, 3rd and long, relatively long.
This is not out of the range even right now for Doug Pfaff, their field goal kicker. He has a lot of legs.
No, it certainly isn't. They're looking at a 3rd and 4. I wouldn't suspect they'd put the ball up. If anything, their safest play is the one that's been so effective, the option.
Dancing was what brung them there, going with a wishbone again. 3rd down and 4. 3:23 remaining. McGill. He might have enough. He's going to be close.
Depends on the spot. I don't think that he has it initially. Tough decision right here. They're able to get the yards. They're moving nicely. Calling call for the measurement.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think it was short. But I haven't called one right tonight, so what do I know?
Well, there's Dick Tomey. He's chewing that gum, deciding, well, should we go for the field goal? Watch the black jerseys strike out. Toffelmeyer blocking back. The left guard folding around, number 72. The Huskies converging, but still a good offensive line surge. Now what do you do if they don't make it? You got to figure you could pick up the distance for the 1st down.
I'm not sure that Arizona has had a minus yardage rush tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it were I would go for the 1st down situation rather than try and kick it. And I want to tell you something else that gives you a little factor about that. Arizona this year, and they appear to be going to go for it, well, they're 7 out of 8 on 4th down attempts this season.
Daryl Howardin, our ace statistician, tells us there have been 3 negative gains from the line of scrimmage on the ground. Veal on 2 keepers and Bates on a mishandled pitch.
I read where they were 7 out of 8.
They go for it. Veal dives. I'm sure he has it.
And he does. Quick count on the quarterback sneak.
Well, I'll tell you, the linesman on the near side, on our side of the field, is not giving him a very generous spot, but I still think it's enough for the 1st down.
I do too.
We're going to measure it.
I tell you, it's a 1st down, but not a bad idea. Watch right here. Watch Toffelmeyer, the center. See him strike out a number 94 right there for the Huskies as he went slightly to his left. That's Art Hunter in the white jersey, that 94 number. But the Huskies have a chance. They can call for the measurement, which, as I say, I think he has. But hopefully, this little breather will give the defense a bit of a rest. They got it by veteran of football. And it could conceivably hurt the momentum of the offense, although it certainly shouldn't with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
This drive has consumed about 3 minutes, just short of 3 minutes. There have been 7 plays in it. They've all been running plays. The clock, of course, stops momentarily while the chains are moved. But it's the perfect drive so far for the Arizona Wildcats. They're using the clock, and they're moving the ball. and they give the first man through, who is Hampton, and Hampton gets about 4. So again, we go back to the old story of what do you get on first down yardage, and 4 yards is enough.
Well, there you see Pfaff warming up, kicking into the net. But I want to tell you one thing. Dennis Brown was lined up on his right, had to run all the way over to the left, had not gotten into position. They ran right in that area. The Huskies lucky he didn't get more yards out of that play.
They go from the wishbone again. Second down. They call it 7, so give Hampton a gain of 3 on first down, not 4. Veal this time gives to Eldridge. He's got room down to the 21-yard line. That'll be another first down for Arizona.
And they are running right at Dennis Brown right now. Yes, he had the flu, but regardless of that, that is good offensive blocking. Look, the right side of the line right there. 72 pulling around, 35 in front of it. Dennis Brown crashing down and just hard running in there. Good surge. The Huskies defense in retreat at this point.
And there are 2 minutes remaining in the football game. The wishbone has really done the trick for Dick Tomey and the Wildcats. Give it to Eldridge inside the 20.
Well, initial penetration right there by John Cook. As he made the play, Chico Fraley fired across, got into the backfield, didn't hurt anything, but this is, at this point, this is flat smash nose football.
Well, there are 2 plays I'm sure the Huskies will take to bed with them tonight. One, of course, the missed field goal by McCallum, and the other, that long pass that Bailey couldn't handle on a 2nd and long. Wishbone. Give it this time to Eldridge. Eldridge stopped short of the 15. And the Huskies are calling a timeout, but boy, they took a lot of time. The coaching staff on the sidelines was signaling timeout, timeout, but by the time the players saw it, probably a good 6 or 7 seconds ticked off the clock.
Well, your defensive signal caller has to recognize it.
1:12 remaining in the game, tied at 17. Wildcats on the move. You are watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week.
Introducing the revolutionary Trim Cut Sanding Disc. It's made of a super tough nylon, bonded with a rugged industrial abrasive. Trim Cut's easy to use and won't tear or fly off. It's on and locked in just 1 step and cleans like new in seconds. Trim Cut outlasts ordinary sandpaper discs 50 to 1. Order your Trim Cut now for only $19.95. You'll get 3 5-inch and 3 3-inch Trim Cut discs. You'll also receive these free gifts just for trying Trim Cut: a disc cleaner, safety goggles, leather work gloves, lawnmower blade balancer, a buffing pad, and a protective mask, all absolutely free.
If you're not satisfied for any reason, return the unused disc for a full refund and keep everything else as our gift.
To order Trim Cut, call toll-free 1-800-537-8100 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Order now. Call 1-800-537-8100.
There's the story of the game. Let's go to the sidelines to Bill McDonald.
You know, Barry, kickers are a funny breed. When they've got it in the groove, they feel they can't be stopped. Doug Pfaff said to me before the game, hurt leg and all, you know it's going to come down to me again for the 3rd time this year? Well, it looks like it will. And if there is any win to be had, it will be going with Pfaff when he tries his kick back upstairs.
The other interesting thing about Doug Pfaff is that he was out here with his holder last night at 10 o'clock at night, just imagining and trying to visualize what the game-winning kick would look like. How do you like that?
He's hoping it's going to be right down the middle.
And he's a half hour late. It's 10:30. Big play here, though. 3rd down and 6. They'll try to keep it in the middle of the field, I'm sure, and they do. And now we will see Doug Pfaff, and now the Huskies want another timeout. And they get it called with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. So the Huskies will have 1 timeout remaining. And Doug Pfaff will come on to try to win it, he hopes, for the 2nd week in a row.
Yes, and he did the same thing to the Huskies last year in Seattle when the Huskies backed up, were leading in the football game. Scott Geyer forced a fumble on Kerry Conklin when he went back to throw, and Pfaff kicked a 22-yard field goal in that one. And
Next week, we can only hope for a game as exciting and nail-biting as this one. We'll be up at Oregon. This same Arizona team takes the act on the road to play the Oregon Ducks. Ducks, of course, smarting from a last play loss today to Stanford. They're a good football team.
And how was that done, Barry?
That was done by the foot of the Stanford kicker. After 3 misses, he came back, made a 36-yard field goal with no time remaining, capping an 18-point comeback with 7 minutes remaining in the ball game for the Stanford Cardinal.
That's what I was alluding to, how many times the kicker has been the decider in the games thus far this season.
Well, I'm sure, knowing Don James, he has a block play on, and we'll see what happens. 35-yarder to give a 3-point lead to the Wildcats. Snap, place, kick. It is good. For the second week in a row has given his team an apparent victory. Now there's a minute left. That is a world of time.
Yes, and 1 timeout available to the Huskies. And the last factor that Coach Dick Tomey mentioned, as Taft lines up again, you get a look at it. You see the spin of the ball to put the laces forward. Kickers like that. They don't like those laces looking back at him as he spun it. And Tomey, hands on knees, his reaction, yeah, 6 points.
Well, as Bill McDonald mentioned before, he is not an emotional sort.
Nope.
He implodes with emotion.
Yes, look at that. That's a thumbs up. But getting back to the Huskies at this stage, Barry, and Dick Tomey saying, number 7, field position, kicking game. The Husky kicking game hurt him the last 2 times with the punter giving Arizona very good field position. And this resulting in a 3-point lead at this stage, 20-17.
Let's give credit to Ron Veal and the Arizona offense, too. A 13-play drive that consumed 5 minutes, all running plays, except, of course, for the field goal by Doug Pfaff, who you heard say, we're going to the Rose Bowl, baby.
Yeah, well, how about the missed field goal by the Huskies? How big was that?
Very large, very large. Nice kicks this one. It is returnable. Bryant at the goal line. 5, 10, 15. Forget it.
Takes up a lot of time. Ran around for 6 seconds and got out to the 9 or 10-yard line.
That's a real mistake, and I'm sure Don James would love to have that one back.
Well, the ball's going to come out to the 20, and the clock won't start until they bring it out on the playing field, so he cost his team 6 seconds right there.
The only thing you have to say about Bryant in that case was that the kick was right at the goal line.
Well, yeah, it was, but it was still in. You know, you're going to go 100 yards with it, or 101, not too likely, and I'll tell you something else. Took a pretty good shot, kind of hurt his knee coming out of the game limping.
So the Huskies 90 yards and 55 seconds away. Conklin straight back. Throws sideline, and I don't think that was the intended receiver. I think that ball was intended for Andre Riley.
I agree. And at that point, Mario Bailey thought it was for him, and he got in the way of it. We'll never know if it was going to be completed. Riley standing right on the sideline would have stepped out, would have taken but 4 seconds as it did off the clock, because Riley would have been out of bounds. But Bailey jumped in there and tried to grab it.
Second down now.
You need a 90-yard play.
They're all designed to go that far, aren't they? Big rush this time. Conklin steps up, throws underneath, almost intercepted that time by Geyer. Good coverage to the outside.
Well, the defense, extra backs in there. 7 people covering a 4-man rush. The Huskies not going sideline patterns, going more of the hook variety, close to the sideline. Nothing down the middle where the open areas are, any kind of crossing patterns. Even though it would take more time, they still have a timeout.
They got to worry about making a first down now, let alone a touchdown. Third down. Conklin back again. Airs it out deep this time. Fly pattern, and getting a hand on it beautifully was Geyer. Riley was open.
if Conklin leads him to the inside, away from the sideline, and they, normally you teach the quarterback, try and keep it to the outside shoulder, but in that instance, there was no safety back there, and if he lays it straight up the field or slightly inside, there's no telling that Riley might go to the end zone.
Meanwhile, it's a 4th down.
That was a tough play, a little bit of a better throw, and it was a very possible 6 points.
Possibles, however, do not count.
Would'ves and should'ves.
Throw caught by Riley. It's still alive. The ball at the 26-yard line. 33 seconds left. Huskies still have 1 timeout. I don't believe Riley got out of bounds, but the clock will stop while the chains are moved, and the Huskies come to the line of scrimmage. They won't burn their timeout yet. Huskies line up. They're ready to go, and the clock will start. Conklin straight back again. Throws this time and almost intercepted. That time Jones ran it in and Conklin threw it out.
You know what I think it was, Barry?
It was McKay who ran the in, but yes, we straightened that out.
I think McKay was running that post corner or zig out type of move that Melvin Smith ran so effectively on Lilo Lang twice on 3rd and long. As Don James, you can see the sweat coming off his brow, extremely warm here, but even more so is the fact his team is trailing 20-17. That zig out move was there. It was not a real good throw as far as Conklin was concerned. He's got to go to the sideline more.
We did see the Huskies working on a hook and ladder play in practice yesterday. Conklin straight back again. Throws, batted away.
Up the middle.
Anthony Smith knocked it down.
Number 1 tackler on that defensive team. You see him come around the twist 94, hands up, bump, left arm hits it, bop to the ground. 3rd and 10, 21 seconds left. The Huskies 1 timeout.
Running out of time and running out of downs.
In a 2-deep zone, basically, at about 20 to 25 yards by Arizona.
So again, Conklin has to think first down before he can think touchdown. Steps up, throws, open this time McKay. McKay to the midfield stripe, now to the 48-yard line, and the clock stops at 12 seconds left. And Don James is saying call the timeout, but I don't think they are.
Well, yes,
one of the coaches, it was Jeff Woodruff who was asking to call the timeout.
They are, because the trainers are going out on the field. There again, Barry was an example. That's the Huskies' last timeout. But with the clock being moved, if they had one play or ran up and threw it to the ground, as you see, watch the pass blocking where he steps up inside. That's an excellent job right there. Good forward motion on the throw. Big hole in the middle. Obviously, they're giving him plenty of room. And McKay, a little more yardage than they'd like him to get, because if they pick up another 10 or 12 yards here, they're at least in field goal range, even though it would be a long one. So it's, what do they say? It's never over till it's over?
Oh, that's right. They need about 20 yards, conceivably, from McCallum, who has kicked a 46-yarder tonight, and that was his longest field goal. And there's a look at McCallum. He just wants a chance.
Well, he wants a little closer chance, I believe.
He did miss one from 41, but that was not his miss. It was a bad snap or a bad hold. You could chalk it up to either.
Well, we saw a pretty good field goal kicker up at Wazoo and Pullman that wouldn't take 20 yards to get a shot at us.
I want to tell you, he tried from here. And Mike Price let him go. Jason Hanson, one of the best-looking kickers I've seen in college football in a long time.
Oh, is he ever? Don James, you can see the strain on his face. There's the other coach, Dick Tomey, another fine gentleman, and he's got a three-point edge, but I'll tell you, he doesn't feel like he's got this football game locked at this stage.
No, he doesn't. 12 seconds left. The ball at the 49-yard line of Arizona.
Now 4 deep zone by Arizona.
Look out. Conklin throws it up. Trying to catch up, and it's intercepted, and this ball game is going to be over. Darrell Lewis on the interception, but you got to credit the big push up front. I believe it was 94 Anthony Smith.
It was Anthony Smith, who normally rushes from the left side, was on the right side, outside of Chris Singleton. And Washington, no one to pick Smith up that was the cause of Conklin having to throw badly. As you see, not much change of expression. There's Conklin to the sideline, but on Dick Tomey over there, as his team pulls away with a 20-17 hard-hitting, hard-fought victory.
Two good football teams. This is a terrific win for Dick Tomey. He beat a darn good team tonight, and he beat a darn good team last week.
Yeah, you have to wonder why Washington didn't pick up the rush there at that stage, because you got to give Conklin as much time as possible.
And Veal rather drops to one knee. Veal kneels, and the game is over. And a happy Dick Tomey, and he has very good reason to be happy. Tough loss for Don James and the Washington Huskies. But Don, I really feel we saw two excellent football teams tonight.
Well, I would say so. Both of them could be challengers for the Rose Bowl. The Huskies have made a major turnaround. Up until tonight, anyway, this was a real test for them. Defensively, they didn't play quite as well. They've had difficulty with this offense of Arizona's in the last several years. Offensively, the Huskies were moving the ball pretty well, but it was Dick Tomey's defense and their passing game and the execution of the option that really controlled it.
Got to give credit tonight to the arm and the legs of Ronald Veal, Melvin Smith, some big catches, and Doug Pfaff for the second week in a row.
Earned $65,000 a year.